morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you're from. Hope you're all having a lovely day. It's glorious here in sunny Manchester. So I thought I'd do a live stream from outside.
Wagwan blood.
CMG. Early for you, innit?
Yeah, I'm getting some breakfast, heading to work.
Good.
Yeah, man.
I'm off for a week.
You guys are your holidays, man.
Oh, we get lots of them.
Huh?
We get lots of time off over here.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I like it.
Dude, wait, is it? It's actually sunny over there? Holy shit!
Yes. Hot, yeah. Nice.
Oh my god, it's probably gonna be cloudy for like the rest of the year then.
Most probably. It's supposed to be nice all week.
Oh, okay.
And we're still in May, which is good.
How hot is it?
No, it's not like red hot, but it's been in the 20s Celsius, that is.
Oh, okay. So you're in the 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not bad.
For me, it's not. I said for me, this is brilliant for me.
Yeah, I think we're. Oh, let me see. What are we at right now? Where's the temperature? God, 54 Fahrenheit. So, I'll say probably maybe like 15 Celsius, 16 Celsius.
Yeah.
Let's see. That's right.
At this exact moment in time here, it's 66 at the minute. Well, yeah, it's nice.
Oh, we're at 12 right now. 12 Celsius. I was close. I was at 15. Oh, man. Seymour lent me his power beater.
You've been having we tested it, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, so many things make sense. I had to dial back my LEDs, man.
What power reading was you getting on top?
So my Digi was getting 650 par.
See, Digi's forgiving. Digi can grow in really high power or low power.
Yeah, surprisingly, it took it.
Yeah.
But I had some like high end pieces like a PC Rainbow, the Jason Fox Flame Acro, and don't get me wrong, they still look good, but they look nothing like when I bought them from the guy, you know.
Yeah.
And he was telling me like, yeah, they don't do good in like high light. So I put the par meter next to them. They were at 600 par, you know. And so I was getting like 250 on the sand bed.
Yeah. It's like mine varies all over. From the top, I can get 400. When at the bottom, in some spots, I'm getting 80 and 90 with acros growing there.
Yeah, exactly. So you ever? I don't know if you know what lumen bars are. So it's basically so it's like a strip of LEDs. Yep. I guess like they're the equivalent to Reef brights. So I was running those at 25%. So what I did, I dialed my main LEDs all the way down to 30%, bumped up the lumen bars to about 100%, and it made it so much better, like so much more even, because I didn't get the hot spots anymore, you know? Yeah, so now I'm only running my LEDs at about 30%.
I was going to say, did you find the hot spots in your system?
Yeah, I found the hot spots, and I found some cold spots too, like real cold. I had an acro growing in like freaking 80 par. It's crazy.
Yeah, I have, and the thing is, I've not changed my light since. I said, the acro's actually growing, basing out in the 80 par, so I've left it.
Yeah,
if it's growing, it's doing well.
It's growing towards the light. Like all the branches that's trying to grow, they're all like going towards the light, the right hand side of the tank. You know.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but let me just see if I can show it.
Yeah.
It's completely shaded. I don't even be able to see through it, but I'll try. from that. All right. So if you look, right, I'm going to point to it. Right. So underneath the estuary, where are we at? Right, underneath here.
Yeah.
Look underneath that. Yeah. A foot, not this one. At the side of that, that's a full SPS facing out on the rock under in the shade.
Oh wow!
Completely in the shade. That's just that. And it might be side on, but if it's side on, you might be able to spot it. I can't even see myself. What's the problem? I'm going on the side of the tank here. Ooh. Let me get my phone.
Yeah.
Let me get. Because then I'll be able to see on the big screen. Just bear with me a second. Hello, Melissa. Hello, Ozzy. Hello, Tom. Hello, Danny. Hello, OG.
What's going on, gang?
So let's do this. So pin that one. I'm just going to mute myself a second so I can connect this one with the echoing. I'm on.
Yep.
Right, let's pin this one. Right, let's get the screen rotating. So I can see the camera myself, just wave in front of it. We're behind now. It'd help if the camera was facing the other way, like. Right. Right, I'm good.
All right, yeah, we're good.
Right, we're good. Right, let's see if we can do this. Right, so if we go in the shade, right, so not that one there. Look at the side of that. Look at that there.
Oh, okay, yeah, I see it basing out.
See it? Now look, if you actually look at the front, it's actually underneath the Istrix. Completely shaded.
Yeah.
In fact, turn it that way.
Wow.
Completely shaded underneath the Istrix.
Crazy. Yeah, man. No, they'll grow, you know. They'll grow.
Yeah, under there.
They'll grow.
Completely. Perfect.
Yeah.
I've even got some.
Give me 1 sec. Give me 1 sec. Let me go pay for this sandwich real quick.
Thanks. Let's see if I can do that. No. Sorry if you see my nose there. I'll get this a different view for you. There you go. Better view for everyone. Libby, don't knock that.
All right, I'm back. So yesterday, I picked up 2 acros. The J-Bo Gyre the CP25, and some Zoas.
So you got the J-Bow Gyre?
Yeah, dude, it's loud as fuck. Jesus Christ. Like, I don't mind it. Like, you know, if you know me, like, you know, my fire alarm is always beeping in the background, so like my brain automatically mutes noises. Somebody actually mailed me a battery, Paul. Somebody mailed me a fucking battery.
So they actually did it?
Yeah, somebody actually did it. I was like, holy shit. Like,
anyway, yeah.
it's so
Any
weird
people that are
because
watching,
I
he
still
wants
hear
an
him.
MP40. If someone can mail him an MP40.
Yeah.
The power of social media.
You gotta love it, man. Yeah. I think it's was it Mike? I forgot his full handle, but his name is Michael. Yeah. So if I ever see him, I'm giving him frags, man.
See, I think that's hilarious. Trying to get my YouTube channel. You know, for life, I'm not finding the YouTube app on my phone.
Yeah. So now I got a J-Bow RW8 on 100%. I got the J-Bow CP25 Gyre 100%. I got my return pump.
Why 100%?
Dude, I need it. I need it, man. It's not like it's not crazy. I don't know. It's not crazy flow. I thought it was gonna be like a freaking sandstorm and everybody's gonna close up, but no, everything likes it. Just the way I angled the J-Bow in the return, it kind of like cancels. It just causes a lot of turbulence in like the spots I wanted to. So, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I've got mine. Mine are pretty low actually.
What do you have, the J-Bow gyres too?
I've got a gyre on one side and the J-Bow on the other.
Oh, okay.
So basically the same what you've got. If you've got a J-Bow on one side and a gyre on the other side, you've done the same as me. I blow it and then one cancels the other one out as it flows.
Exactly. So you get like nice turbulence in the middle,
Yeah,
and around the rock works. That's pretty much why I did it. I wanted like just more overall flow, like behind the rock and everything. So
yeah. I've got random flow generators and all. Do you know the RFGs? I've got like one facing each of the power heads. In fact, if I turn the screen on here, I'll show you what I mean. I was trying to find it again. That's the thing. Here we go. So, camera. Right, so I've got the gyre there. If you can see that, I've got the gyre on that side. I've got the J-Bow on that side, and I've got RFGs there. Do you know? So that's basically cancelling that one out. That's cancelling that one out. But as it comes, it gets like a spin in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
But the flow I get, if you look at the flow, right, so lights have just come on, so everything's just opening up. But not a lot of flow. If you see, not too much, and you see that what you feel you're just wafting.
Exactly. Yeah, my euphilias, I thought they were gonna be like, you know, pissed off. No, they're not. They're fine.
Yeah. Well, if you look in the center, if you look at the Zoas there, just wafting again. So everything's just got that nice little breeze going through it all.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the SPS every now and then.
I played with it for a little bit. So I have the gyre on the ramping mode. So where it ramps up and ramps out like that instead of pulsing. And I have the J-Bow, the power head on pulsing.
I used to have that J-Bow. When I turned mine up full,
the humming noise I got, I couldn't stand it.
Yeah. So the gyro doesn't make that humming noise?
It does it if I wax it up full. It most probably would.
Huh?
If I wax it up full, yeah, it would have. It would.
Oh, okay.
But I try not to whack it up full.
Gotcha,
I think mine's
gotcha.
on about 50%. That's it. Well, I said, but them random floor generators, they definitely do the trick.
Yeah, I do everything
Like I
at
said,
100.
I need to get in there because my noise cancelling will start kicking in if I'm outside. Bloody hungry, that's what I am. Oh. Northeast Reefer. Hello, Dave. Hello, Tony. JB Aquatics is in. Narcosis is in.
In the house.
How y'all doing? See, I hate it when you put your camera on your tank and it looks nothing like you're looking at it.
But yeah. Freaking
Jurassic Reef. Hello. Nice and early start for everyone.
Yeah. Did Seymour tell you about his coral haul?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I've not done that in a while. You know, coral out. In fact, I have got some pieces in here that I'm looking after that I've been flown in from Florida.
Yeah.
So, that's a fact.
Yeah.
I'll get them up and show people what I've got. These are from Worldwide Corals in the UK. Whoop, whoop.
They have worldwide corals in the UK?
No. These have been shipped over from.
Oh, okay.
From over there. So there's a frag. Let it focus first because it ain't focusing. Come on.
Yeah, I saw that little dot on the sandbed.
Come on. I want to focus
What's it
it.
supposed to be?
Stupid. Anyway, start fresh. We've got these two frags up here. So there's like two acros up here. There's a frag there. So I think that's a tricolour. I think one's a. Oh, I don't know all the silly names they have. This is crap for focusing, isn't it? The thing is, you can't focus it when it's on angles. It's got to do its own little thing.
Yeah, I hate that. Oh, look at that fatty.
I know. I'll hold it there. Let it do its self-focus thing.
Yeah.
Come on. Okay, it's focused in the background, not the front. Not good. Aha. There we go. Politics happy as a chappy, that. There's a few nice. I said they are nice pieces. I couldn't tell you what they're called, like.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's 5 pieces altogether that have come in from Worldwide Corals.
Oh, okay.
I've got all my frags down there for Sir Woody. Sir Woody wants a load of these frags, so he said what he wanted, so I've even I've fragged that for Woody. So Woody wanted some in my Monty, so he's got some pieces down there.
Well, yeah. You know the Pastelopora?
Yep.
That thing is deadly. It's killing my red planet.
Yeah, I used to have a big colony of that, and everything it touched, it killed.
Yeah, dude, I didn't know they were that aggressive.
Yeah, I don't think they're just aggressive. I just think it's coral being
invasive.
coral, innit? The stingers are just touching and thought, I'll have that. It's
yeah,
fine.
but they're invasive. Mine's is like basing out. like really bad.
In fact, if I'm not mistaken, when I got rid of my colony, I think a little bit still survived in my tank, and I'm positive I seen it growing back the other day. But it's underneath the Monty, so it might have killed off. I did
Yeah, I
see it
got
because I
little
seen the
bits growing
reflections.
here and there. Yeah, I got little bits growing here. Like, you know, it sends out the babies and it lands in random spots in your tank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
No worries. So one alarm. Cars in the garage. Not good. JB, is that a virus for the week? Hope you get well soon. Like I said, this is just a short one. Not going to be on for long. But don't forget tomorrow's Test Tuesday. We all love a good Test Tuesday.
That's Tuesday.
Oh, we love Test Tuesday.
Yeah, I
And
might
if
actually
people don't know
test
what
my
day, if
phosphate.
people don't know what day that's on, it's on Tuesday.
Yo, you know
So
I've been seeing like a pattern of YouTubers. I don't know. You saw the video BRS came out with?
no.
Oh,
Why?
well,
What is it?
they
What's it about?
basically testing how often you should test and everything. So when I saw the video, I was just like, "Ooh, test Tuesdays," you know.
Well, what can I say? If they take inspiration, let them take it.
Yep.
I'm on it now. BRS.
So, no, it's basically like how often you should test what, you know. I mean, it's pretty cool.
See, for
It's a
me,
pretty good video. It's
yeah,
exactly
well,
how I feel about it.
yeah. It's like if I had something, a probe that could test my KH daily without me having to physically do it, that'd be a good thing. But anything other than that, I think the other ones, you can get away with doing once a week. As long as you're established, your tank's established and you know where things are going. And obviously, you're not dumping corals in every week. You should be
Yeah.
stable. But as long if your tank's like mine, I don't go out and buy corals. So
Unlike
mine
me,
should be more stable. Yeah,
unlike
but
me,
the
I seem to
growth
be
ones.
pulling every week.
Yeah. I used to be like that. Don't get me wrong. Going back, what, just say like 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I used to come back every single day with a coral. And when I'm not even joking, every
Yeah.
single day. Because I used to pass the LFS on the way to work and I used to pass it on the way back from work. So
Yeah.
it was like 200 meters away from my house. Exaggerating a little bit there, about half a mile. But literally,
Yeah.
it's one street down. I used to spend my life there. And as soon
Freaking
as it shut down, yeah, I stopped.
why they shut down?
Because it used to be an LFS, and it used to be it
Uh-huh.
was voted the best in the UK. But they was making more money, because it's a farm as well. And they was making more money on the farm section of it. Do you know, like with kids coming in and doing little events and things like that. They was
Yeah.
making more money doing that. So they thought, well, we'll shut the LFS down and we'll expand this kiddie zone area. And they did that.
That's
And
stupid.
yeah. Well, it all comes down to money and business, doesn't it? A business point of view, they was making a lot of money doing it. On a
Yeah, true.
LFS point of view, they shut the best LFS down in the UK. I tell you what, right? I never put videos out, right? And when I do, usually I
No.
stick in a lot of pictures I've taken on my fish tank together and I stick them on YouTube. But when I do it, I get a massive influx of subs every time I do it. Every time
Really?
I do a video. Every time I do a video. You know, a proper one, not just not a live stream. So it tells you that live streaming doesn't get you subs. What videos do.
Yeah. No, we all know that.
Yeah. So like, look at mine. I average what a video,
Yeah.
300 people watching, which is about
Yeah.
20% of my subs, which is good.
Yeah.
Say if you can average 10% of your subs watching a video, that's good for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's only like I said 10%. Well, if you think about it, right, if you think of it this way, if you think of Joey, the king of DIY, he's got what 600,000-700,000 people. When he does a live stream, how many people does he get watching? Not even 5%.
Yeah, not a lot. Yeah,
Not
yeah,
even
that's true.
5% of his people watching. I think about last time we worked it out, it works out at 0.3% or something.
Wow.
If you say 600,000 people and he gets 100,000 watching,
Yeah.
he's getting less than 10%. Do you know what I mean? So it shows you. People sub you, but sometimes they only sub you for one video you've done. Most people never watch you again.
Yeah. You know what? I really want to go to Israel, man. The Red Sea.
You want to go to where?
Where they have that shallow reef, that outdoor shallow reef. Oh my gosh.
Where's that? Israel.
You've never seen it? I think it's in Israel. It's at the Red Sea, though.
You want to see if Tom Levi comes on? Tom Levi's from Israel, isn't
he? Yeah. Isn't that Yeah, Israel touches the Red Sea, right?
Israel, yeah, it would be at the Red Sea, wouldn't it? Because you got Egypt.
Yeah. So no, there's this crazy aquarium there. What's it called? Coralfish 12 did a video on it.
Israel shallow reef
aquarium in Israel, but they have like this massive shallow reef, and it's literally like outside, hooked up to the ocean, and dude, it looks amazing. It looks phenomenal. It's like a lagoon. It looks like a lagoon style reef. It looks amazing. You know.
Yeah, but didn't what they used to, like Jamaica, like Seymour was saying, didn't they used to have them in Jamaica, the little shallow lagoon reefs?
Yeah. No, but I'm saying that's when it's man-made. So it's
man-made.
Like it's literally like a part of the aquarium, and they made it, but it's all plumbed into the ocean.
Right.
Yeah. So it looks amazing.
See, that's what they do in Dubai.
Yeah. Seriously, if you imagine having your own island and just plumbing your just plumbing your tank to that island. You know?
Oh, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
It would be. My saltwater journey. I Reef Jeeves, hello, wide, Tony, hello. But just seeing what's going on here. Saltwater, yeah, Tom said that's your next thing, TMG. Andy, if you live near the ocean, so we could plummet into the ocean.
Yeah, my saltwater journey. That's a millionaire goal right there. I think you need to be like a super millionaire for that.
I tell you what, he doesn't have any luck, that Tom, does he? His skimmer died today. Jesus.
Who? My saltwater journey?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he's been having horrible luck, man. I feel bad for him.
Michael Aarons is in.
Parcel. The parcel arrived.
You jumping in, Michael? I know he's a busy bee today. Let me copy that link. I don't even know how to copy it. There we go. Didn't work on my Android, this, by the way.
Yeah.
So if you're on Android, it might not work. Okay, it's not like me. We'll copy that. Why is that?
Yeah.
Oh.
Freaking
I'm starving.
Tristan.
I really want something to eat.
Tristan got his massive reef tank. So jealous.
I need a bigger house before I get a bigger reef tank. Libby, do you want my ice cream?
Where do you live?
Got a cornetto? No, I live in a house, mate.
Oh,
I just don't have any room. Do some dinner?
You should come live in the States, man.
Say again?
Come live in the States.
No, they got guns. Scares me.
Like
no, you know what? I would live in the States. I would live in the States, me.
Yeah.
There or Australia.
I could never live in Australia.
I'd love to live in Australia.
Everything's trying to kill you. Everything's trying to kill you.
Good point. Well, at the minute, living in England, everybody's trying to kill you here. You know what I mean? But the humans.
Yeah.
So what journey? Man, it's hot today. It is warm. Hello, Melanie. Right. I think we put these in the toaster, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Toasty me.
Aussie. No, it's not the same everywhere in my solo journey. In America, mostly you only have people trying to kill you. In Australia, you have people, spider, snakes, pets, everything.
It's true.
Yep.
It's like me at this. I love traveling, me.
So there's only one more thing left for me to get. I mean, not one more thing, but like a few more things. And I'm thinking a clam and maybe 2 or 3 rock flower anemones.
Well, a clam. I love my clam. Like I say, my clam's knocking on 7-year-old, my clam that I've had it.
Wow.
So
the thing is, I don't know where I'm going to put my clam because I don't really have any sandbed space.
Yeah, they need to be. You're better off. Well, if you get a maximum, you want it on the sandbed. You know, well, on a rock, on its own rock. Like mine turns itself, depends on how it feels.
Really?
Yeah. So it can face left, and then the day after it might turn itself a little bit right. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So they do flip themselves left and right. So you need a little bit of space around it so it can do what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Invite me, Paul. I've got to go on PC. One sec. Right, I'll send you the invite, Michael.
No, Tom, I literally don't have any space on my sandbed. Like, I'm not saying I don't know where I'm going to put. I literally don't have any space on my sandbed, Tom.
Yeah, that's it. You better have put it on a little rock.
Yeah, I don't have space on those either.
You can get a clam holder.
I have spaces in odd places for coral. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? Throw out some sticks. Never. Like, dude, I have like four SPS on the sandbed, just growing on the sandbed. You know, like, dude, I'm like, because I just don't think they'll look good on the rock. I like how they look on the sandbed better. You know.
Yo, what's happening, kids?
What's going on? You sound like you got the allergies. Yo, Tristan, just talking about you. Saying how much I hate you for having the 350 now.
Hello.
Yo.
What you up to? Sounds like you're having a crap.
Just trying to sort this fucking room out. There's just crap everywhere. I've got wires and tripods and stands and just.
Yeah, but you won't be a reefer if you didn't have a shit room. Everyone's got a little shit room or a shit closet. You know, for all the reef stuff.
My whole house is a flipping shit house at the moment. All the shit that's in it. I'm just having a good sort because, like, obviously I've got that cupboard, haven't I? And I've started going through the cupboard, and I didn't realise how much stuff I had.
Michael, what cupboard?
Oh yeah, sorry. Broke my first rule about the cupboard. Don't talk about the cupboard. But yeah, now everything. I've just started pulling everything out, and I've got so much stuff. I've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 LED lights. I've got 4 LED lights. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 T5 tubes. I've got a dosing pump. Oh no, sorry, how many LED lights? I've got 5 LED lights, sorry. Dosing pump. I've got a flipping calcium reactor. Flipping all sorts of stuff in this cupboard. But I just throw stuff in the cupboard and forget about, like, some of this stuff here is brand new and never even been opened. You know, it's just stuff that I've been sent. Yeah. And it's just like, I'm not doing a review video, or I might do a review video on it, just never got around to it. So yeah, just tons of stuff. Oh, and a canister filter. Just noticed the canister filter on the floor. a flaval canister filter as well.
There's one outside. Come sit in the garden in the sun. TMG is jealous of you, Tristan.
Oh. I'm dosed up on painkillers as well because I've chipped my tooth.
Oh, I'll tell you what, I've had a bad tooth, Michael. I went dentist about a couple of weeks ago. Give me a filling. The gum since. It's been horrendous.
Yeah. Yeah, I was eating pork crackling and I chipped my tooth. It's well nice though, so it was worth it. I've even found a fake coral rock. An Aqua One fake coral rock. It's got fake corals on it, and it looks like an arch rock.
So what Michael's telling everyone, he's got fake corals in it, he always pretends they're real.
Yeah. It looks pretty good though. It does look pretty good. Looks pretty real.
Shouldn't have said no, you should have see people know.
No, you'll definitely notice. It looks like jelly. I'll see if I can show you.
You get me and got some.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah, you can tell it's fake. I don't know that bubble tip at the bottom. You might get away with that one.
No, if you put it in the water and that, and put the Itinics on it, yeah, it does look. It probably would, but I bet that glows up mint under the blues. Don't look as bad when the blues are on it. Look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've never seen an acro that green like that though.
Because you need to get your nitrates down. God, there's so much crap.
Too late now, Tom. Plus, I'm eating chicken, toasty things. Tom said he didn't see the color. It's pinned on mine. Focus on mine. Michael, you're gonna have to show me, and I'm gonna have to let you see it.
What?
You have to show them again. Everyone wants to see. Everyone wants to see your fake coral.
Why? You just showed it. Rewind it.
Yeah, but you showed it me. It was pinned on me.
Oh, right, okay. 1 second.
Now it's pinned on you. So.
There it is.
Make sure you get the camera on.
No, camera's on, isn't it? Shit, I can't see. Can't see myself. There you go. Can I put that next to my rocks? Can't even tell. Proper good. Good light as well. Spiky though. Oh, I'll do it wrong aspect ratio so it all fits. Look at that. See? Doesn't look too bad, that. Perfect for
I'm off and use the rock.
yeah, but even if you've got a fish only tank, you know what I mean? If you're running a fish only tank and put that in, you get colour pop. Don't look too bad, and obviously you've got like a little coral reef look without actually having the corals. Yeah. Pretty good. I actually bought that. I didn't get that for free. I bought that years ago. I bought it from a seahorse tank because I had seahorses, so you know they'd have somewhere to perch and that.
Yeah.
Bought it for that. I literally had seahorses for 2 weeks. I had them for 2 weeks. They brought the life out of me, and I got rid of them. Oh, what was that? So you're up to today, Paul? It's very quiet. It's very quiet.
Yeah, I'm doing absolutely nothing.
That's it.
Yep. Okay.
Lazy day. Lazy day.
Yep. Sobering up. Even yesterday, I was at balls. Okay.
Do you know when you look at stuff and you just think to yourself, I don't know where to start? Like, literally, I don't know which bit to clean up first. Really? What?
As long as it's done before your missus gets back, you should be good.
I know, but I don't even know where to start.
I've got a fish cupboard there. Well, you seen it when you come, didn't you? It's a shit.
I feel like I feel like I took a right hook off Tyson as well.
Narcotics, RCW, no game. If you look, most people get it.
You sound dead muffled, mate.
Sorry. Yeah, narcotics says no wrench from the game. Most probably because if you look, most people get one. Shorter streams, less blue wrenches. That's the way it works. Michael's got to have one, otherwise he'll give me a reach around that I don't want one.
No, I don't. I'm not bothered about flipping. I'm not bothered about moderator shit. To be honest, I'd rather not have it. Well, not on your stream. I'm alright on your stream, but everywhere else, I'd rather not have it. I don't want the pressure. I don't do anything anyway. It's like by the time that I notice that something's going wrong, Haley's already on it anyway. Yeah. Haley or somebody else has already nailed it, so it's like I'm a crap moderator. Nobody wants me as a moderator.
The thing is, more and more will end up going, because at the end of the day, I think that is better when there's less mods on there.
Yeah, because most moderators are just moderators because It's just been given as like, it's not been given because you needed them as a moderator. It's been given them because most moderators are moderators because it's sort of like, it's like a Brucey bonus, isn't it? If you know what I mean. It's like, ooh, look at me, I'm a moderator. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Rather than the fact that you're a moderator because you've got to put a graph in. It's more the fact that, oh, look, I'm a moderator. I'm privileged, which I get. You know what I mean? But you know, most moderators like me, you know, when I'm a moderator, I'm just a moderator half the time, just because somebody put me as a moderator. Doesn't mean I'm going to do anything because I'm a crap moderator. Really crap moderator. People just like having that moderatorship, don't they? To say, hey, look at me, look, I've got that moderatorship. Just found a remote control helicopter. Forgot I had that. I love that little thing. And the Samsung Galaxy S6. What the hell is everything in this cupboard?
Oh, Dave. It's supposed to be a perk, isn't it? Yeah, it's like most of the time. A lot of people, can you hear me? Yeah?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, right. I was going to say a lot of people, they like putting links in. So, like a lot of people, they won't be a moderator because they're moderating. They'll be a moderator because they put a lot of links, you know, in the chat when we're talking about certain stuff.
Yeah.
They're the ones that go away, find a link and stick the link in.
Yeah.
Not like the moderator what people say, because like some people.
Yeah. That's it. It's just that extra privilege in it of a live stream. I'll be honest, I'm not really thinking for YouTube at the moment. Just got no fire for it. That's why I didn't do a live stream yesterday. That's why I've not really been putting any videos out. Just got no fire for YouTube at the moment. Can't be arsed with it. Sick of all the drama. Sick of all the flipping. He said, she said. It's like being in school. So it's like, I'm not playing anymore. I'm gonna just having a little bit of time off, get everything back, get myself back to where I was back in the day, before live streaming, before flipping drama, and just get back.
What we chatting about?
So what we're talking about? What we
chatting about?
We're chatting shiz. We're chatting shizzle.
We're chatting shit over here, yeah.
Is that me, COG? I can't even see the screen and I know it's you. Sound like Mary Poppins.
I sound like a what?
You sound like Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins.
Good afternoon, people. How are we doing today?
Fucking hell.
Good.
Pardon my language, but fucking hell. Scarlet Pimpernel.
Who just happened there?
Bloody hell.
Who's that big pussy talking about drama and shit on the mic? Who's that?
Tell you what, bloody hell. Who's that? I recognise the voice, but I just can't put the voice to the name.
It's because I'm exclusive.
Because you're it's not exclusive, elusive.
Oh man,
where have you been?
I've been busy, mate. I've been making shit and selling shit and doing shit. That's what I've been doing.
You've been doing your job. Nice.
Yeah.
And killing shit.
And killing shit.
Yeah, killing shit.
No. Today's Confessions Monday. So today's Confessions Monday. If you have killed anything,
right. So here's the question.
I killed a coral.
There's quite a few males in this group right now, right? How many of you tidy up like I tidy up? All I've seemed to have done is moved all of the crap from one side of the room to the other side of the room.
To the other side.
I'm just looking at it now, and the other side looks clearer, But then I look at the other side of the room. It's like I've just put it over there. What am I doing? I'm just shuffling the crap. I don't know.
Everybody shuffling.
My old thing.
What happened to your live stream last night anyway, Muppet?
That's how I do it.
Yeah. What
They
was
do
your
it.
live stream?
They do it. Could be asked.
You mean could be asked?
Could be asked.
You couldn't be asked.
No, could be asked. It's one of those.
So you let everybody down because you couldn't be asked.
Yeah, because the live stream wouldn't
Where's
have
the
been live stream wouldn't have been any good anyway.
Why?
Because I just didn't have it in me.
I might be in it, and then it would have been awesome.
No, because I'm not doing it that way anymore, am I?
Me and Paul would have done it for you in your stead, and it would have been absolutely epic.
Yes,
in comparison to the way I would have done it yesterday, it would have been.
Yeah,
Would have been epicer.
Still not going to be better. You're still not going to be better than me at live streaming, though. No matter what you do,
Hey,
even
Paul,
when I'm not live streaming, I'm better.
Paul, that sounds like a challenge to me. I think what we ought to do next time round is Michael host your live stream, you'll host his live stream, and we'll base it on super chat donations. Whose was the better?
Nah. Depends on who takes off more clothes.
I got
Paul's winning.
Firefighter's body ready.
Hot firefighter's body. He's fit as a rake.
That was for that.
Firefighters.
I had one day of madness. But yeah, other than that, right. Yeah, that's it.
I think the streams have been pretty quiet. I haven't seen any drama for ages.
No, not about it's just like I've lost the love for live streaming completely. Like literally, just like I just don't. It's not like how it used to be. It's not like back in the day when you used to go on the live stream. You could spend all day on the live stream, giggling, laughing, and just be fun all day, and it just was really, really good. Nowadays, it just seems like just nothing. There's just no like.
Be a bit like your tank never can achieve stability. Is what you're saying?
Stable as a flipping.
I think you make it what you want to make it. To be honest, buddy.
Stable as a yo-yo.
Have a crack,
Stable
be
as
a
a yo-yo.
one-man party if you want it to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just. Listen, at the end of the day, just my personal opinion.
If your heart's not in it, your heart's not in it.
What would you want it to be, Michael? What is your utopia? What's your utopia?
Question. I like that question a lot.
Me on my own with nobody else there.
Oh, you sad.
Nobody watching, nobody listening, just me in a room talking to myself.
Don't you do enough of that anyway?
Yeah. just be on a webcam on my own.
Everyone know about that.
Hey, people pay good money for that.
I'll take your word for it.
Hey, look at you. What was that? You put the monopoly on that with your fireman's ladder.
Yeah, just bring my uniform over, couldn't I?
That's it.
Da, 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 da.
Game over. Women are like, oh!
Yeah, till they saw my face. Then they'll ask for a refund. Sorry, go on, Paul.
I saw Water Journey's coming over in 5 days. Tom, how long are you staying for?
He's coming to watch. Was that Kevin? I think. Tom's coming to watch. What's that freaking ventriloquist called? Jeff Dunham.
Mm-hmm.
He's coming to watch Jeff Dunham, I think.
I do. Is that it?
Yeah, that one.
Oh, Tom, I need to give you a shout out for sending me your mugs and t-shirts and stuff. I picked them up from they went to the office and I didn't know they were there for a while until they told me. So I've unboxed it yesterday. So I appreciate that, buddy.
Oh crap! Mine's just arrived today as well. Well, I got 2 boxes.
Oh, nice.
That
Cold Water Journey cup. That's a good idea, actually. I'm going to use it now, make a nice coffee. So what's happening with Aqua Depot? Who's going? Are you going, Paul?
It's Paul's show.
It's Paul's going. Yeah,
it's Paul's show.
Yeah, but you know what he's like. He only stayed for an hour in the last one.
Wait, what happened? What happened? What?
Last time we had the Aqua Expo, Paul only stayed for an hour.
Oh.
At Kraken Carl's.
Yeah, that was just because of the way that we'd done it.
Was it a christening or something, Daft?
Yeah, we planned the Aqua Expo, but he already had a christening, so it was like we couldn't really jiggle it. We couldn't really move it around because we'd already done the Aqua Expo, but he forgot that he had the christening, so
right.
It didn't really matter because it was only the first one, and it was we had over 100 people there and everything, but we managed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We managed.
No, it was good. It was a good day.
The sister's got twinsies. We were getting Christmas on the same day. So.
Please, sir.
I was a godfather.
Oh, nice. Well, I've got Ryan's ordered some shop fitting and some tanks, so the tanks are being ordered to be made.
Nice. You've only got a week.
I think there's a couple of. I've got longer than a week. It's 27th, isn't it?
What's the date today? 15th
Right.
tomorrow. Well, 10 days. 12,
Yeah,
12 days.
Yeah. What else? And I think there's a couple of aquascapers going aside from George as well. I think Peter's going. I think Dan Harris can be there as well.
Who?
Dan Harris and Petra Kaskowski or something his name is. I'm going to try and get down there as well. So it's going to be like top-notch aquascapers there.
Well, I spoke to George and asked George to see if Yuri's coming. So Yuri may or may not be coming. I'm not sure, but it'd be nice if Yuri comes.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to meet Yuri.
Well, you saw him briefly at UCAPS, didn't you? He was the guy that.
Yeah, but I didn't know who he was then. You know what I mean?
Well,
I didn't know.
Petra was at that UCAPS as well. He escaped one of the top ranking tanks, and Dan Harris is a very talented kid. He's doing some top-notch stuff as well at the minute.
Right.
So you got some top-ranking scapers coming as well as George. So that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, understand, Michael.
What?
Me and you are going to be there. So if anyone wants to come,
It's all that matters, isn't it, pal? It's all that matters. Me and you are going to be there. I think I'm going to be doing a talk as well, because we just need some more saltwatery stuff. So I think I'm going to be doing a talk on filtration, because it's still something that obviously because there's freshwater and saltwater people there. There's still that stigma and there's still that divide between sumps and canister filters. Freshwater people avoid sumps, saltwater people avoid canisters. But realistically, because they think this, that, and the other. So I'm just going to do a bit of a talk on that.
The main issue for freshwater guys with sumps is the degas.
Degas it. Yeah.
But there is ways that you can eliminate that now.
Yeah.
Just wondering then, maybe I ought to get a sack of each size of biohome down to Ryan for the day.
Well, I'm going to use biohome.
And then you can sell that, and then I can charge him for what he sells.
Yeah, well, anything that you can do with sale or return, because I've already been speaking to him about that. It just makes sense. It just makes sense. If companies can provide things sale or return, then there's going to be more stuff available for people to buy, and it's stuff that's sat on your shelf anyway. So why not sit it on somebody else's shelf for the day and make money on it? You know what I mean? And anything that you don't sell, take it back into stock, and it's just there's no difference, is there? So yeah, sale or return would be perfect, because then obviously there's more stuff available for the guests when they come. I'm going to do, like I said, I'm going to do the talk on, and I am going to be including media in the talk. So I'm going to be bringing some biohome down with me because I've got some, as an example. I'm going to be bringing the max spec media down with me as well, and I'm also going to be bringing down with me the Brightwell one, nitrate, just for examples on how each work and blah blah blah. And also as well, I'm thinking of bringing a canister filter down with me to show how properly to set one up, because they don't come set up properly. When you open the box, canister filter.
Just a quick one. It's back. and everyone knows what Ed does. What does Ed
Who's
do?
Ed?
When he does a super chat. You know Ed Reefmeister.
Oh, has he done your super chat for Nick?
No, for you, right? So I said, Aaron's Aquarium, great content. Miss you guys.
Well done, Ed.
I bloody
That's
love
how you
Ed.
do it, mate.
Can't wait till the.
It makes me laugh because if he gives anyone a super chat, he does it to that person. He always does it to someone else that's on the channel.
Oh, I don't think he's ever done one to me.
Ed, thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Very, very much so.
Oh, Ed, are you going to be around when I come over in October? I'm going to be in New Jersey. In October. I can't remember because obviously you've changed jobs and stuff. I don't know if you will.
He moved, didn't he? Didn't he move?
Yeah, he's moved, yeah.
We had a thing here, so I need to bring this one up. Kristen. Canisters in saltwater comes down to laziness. I disagree with that, but we'll talk about this in a minute. He says, do you want to be lazy? Tristan, he says,
Canisters in saltwater comes down to laziness.
Let me
lazy
say
and
why
not
I
clean
disagree
the
with that.
canister and change your filters and filter. I don't know what you mean.
My
I don't know why it's lazy.
My first system all came down to it's like the space that I had, and the space that I had never let me have. When it comes like with a sump, I never had the money to buy it at the time. I could afford a smaller tank. Canister filter. I did it that way, and it's not laziness because to me you've got to clean the filter out.
Yeah, I was going to say, throw down the link for him, Paul. Yeah. Let's get Tristan in here. Let's have a big debate.
You've got to clean the canister filter, a lot more than you've got to clean a sump. I never touched my sump. The canister filter was constantly had to be cleaned. So yeah, it's not laziness. I think it's definitely not laziness. I think
it's like how you use it as well, because the way I would use a canister filter now would be completely different from when I started to reef and I used canister filters back then as well. So I would say it depends on how you're going to use it.
This is the thing as well, though, isn't it? It's the whole canister filter thing is people leave them too long because they think that they can because it's a canister filter. You know, this thing seems to be bred into people that, especially freshwater people, that, you know, they can leave it for a month. It's okay. But but they don't sort of like, they clearly don't get the correlation of what it's doing. So, you know, when this thing goes around with canister filters as nitrate factories, you know what I mean? It's that correlation between it being a nitrate factory and why is it a nitrate factory? Because yeah, they can be, but why is it? And it's just solely and utterly down to, you know, the person running it because they're not cleaning it. So stuff's just collected.
The thing is, though, that's the thing. That's using a canister filter in the traditional way you use canister filters. But me now, I wouldn't clean a canister filter. I just leave it uncleaned. But the way I'd use it would be a different way to enable me to do that. So it wasn't a nitrate factory; it was a denitrifier.
Exactly. Yeah, but that's on the setup. But what we're talking about is how people traditionally use. What I'll be talking about anyway in my talk is how people traditionally use a canister, as in like, you know, your 3 sets of sponges in your media, job done. You know what I mean? Because first of all, when a canister filter comes set up, it's set up wrong. The sponges are in the wrong order. First of all, and they do that on purpose so you blow through sponges quicker, so you buy sponges because there's many people out there that will buy branded sponges. So if they've got, say, like for a Joule filter or a Fluval filter, they'll buy the Fluval sponges or the Joule sponges to replace because they're already pre-cut and they're branded especially for that thing. So, you know, that's what they'll buy. But they'll just keep blowing through them, spending loads and loads of money on them because the filter floss is first. It's in the beginning. So literally the first impact of water impacts the filter floss. So every single particle, large, medium, and small, hits the filter floss first, which technically makes the other sponges irrelevant. So you have to swap them. But obviously, manufacturers do it on purpose.
That's the thing. I wouldn't see. I don't see the point. If you're going to use it in marines now, why don't we educating people how to use a canister filter the way that you can use it, rather than
We're not, yeah, but like I said to you, we're talking to
fresh.
In my talk, I'm going to be talking to freshwater and saltwater people, so we're going to be talking about how they.
But it works both. It works both ways.
But how they traditionally understand the canister filter as it is at the moment, and then talking about how to then move away from that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Into how you'd use it now.
Yeah. You got making that transition.
Yeah,
You sound a distant, Paul.
I mean, Michael. I mean, you and I are on the same wavelength, man. You know, for years, people have been told, "Oh, you can't use a canister filter in saltwater." I did it for 3 years on a 55-gallon tank, and I never had a problem. I grew everything.
How did you use it, Tristan? Did you use it the traditional way, or did you use it with a modern approach?
No, I filled it up with ceramic media. I had a pre-filter, which was a sponge or filter floss, which basically just kept the filter media itself from getting too dirty or having too much gunk going down there. And
did you clean it out every week, every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks, I would swap out the filter pad.
That's a different thing, because that's a traditional way to use it. I'm talking about doing it so you don't have to clean it out every 2 weeks, because that used to be a pain in the ass to do that. Right? That's why people don't do it.
What I was cleaning wasn't the ceramic media. I was taking out the pre-filter, the stuff that I was stopping from getting muck into my ceramic media. The entire bottom of it was just filled up with what was it? It was the stuff that you can buy like at Petco. It was ceramic media, and that was
the ring.
Yeah, it was just pretty much that was my live rock for the most part, because it was cheaper than live rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but ceramic rings and live rock is so inefficient as a filter media. That's the problem with it.
But again, obviously, you're at a certain level of understanding now, Nick, where, you know, you get it, I get it. You know what I mean? But the thing is, when somebody's going into Petco or whatever else, and they are buying the ceramic rings or whatever else, you know, the whole point of my talk is going to be to sort of like get people, because people buy stuff. You know, the whole thing with hobbyists, especially at the beginning, and even hobbyists that have been in the rotation in freshwater and even saltwater, buy stuff just because they've been told to. Not because they understand why they're buying it, just because they've been told to. Buy this, put this in, do this, do that. So like the whole point of my sort of thing is to sort of like explain to people what the ceramic rings are, why they're doing what they're doing, why the traditional ones are inefficient, and blah, blah, blah. Get that point across. Then, you know, then they're sort of like on the level of your understanding then. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I remember I had spent almost like $300 on my filter because it had a UV sterilizer and a heater built into it.
Mine as well.
And the actual the pre-filter where I would put my filter floss or filter pad to capture particulate. That was easy to remove. So, you know, I just basically popped the 4 plugs, spam, swapped it out, popped it back in, and I was good to go. It was self-priming, so I didn't have to start anything.
Which one was it? Which one
Holy
was it?
Grail! Holy Grail! Self-priming filter.
Yeah, it was I want to say it was a Fluval something.
403.
Yeah, it had a ball, but once you primed it once you squeezed the ball,
it might be an FX.
That was it. That's all you had to do was squeeze the ball. It sucked some water in. It went right to where the shutoff was. And all I had to do was, when I'm ready to do any type of cleaning, do the shutoff. That's it. And then I could take it apart. It wouldn't keep siphoning water out of the tank or anything like that. If the power went out, it would restart again. You know, it was just.
Did it purge itself after every couple of hours? Like every 2 hours, it purged itself of any air that it might have built up?
I can't remember. I can't recall it, but I remember it was. It came with a clear piece for inside of the tank, and that was probably the only thing I didn't like about it, was that the clear piece would grow algae inside of it over time.
And it's not the FX filter, because I was thinking it might be the FX filter, but if if it had a clear filter, it won't be that.
Wow.
I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, it was pretty dang efficient for what it was, and like I said before, I couldn't afford pounds and pounds of live rock to fill my 55. So
See, how did
you
you
know,
stock your tank as well, Justin? Did you stock your tank bearing in mind that you had that type of filtration?
I had pretty
Oh,
much
Michael, you're so noisy, man.
I had pretty much every piece of every type of coral I had, but I also had a ton of fish that were probably not suitable for a 55. I had like 3 Caribbean blue tangs. I had a man. I'm trying to find pictures of it right now, but I had a bunch of fish in there. But I had mostly crappies, some LPS, and a couple of easy SPS like caps and bird's nest that I can remember right off. But I really never had any problem with like nutrients or anything crazy. I mean, I was using T5 lighting, like a 4 bulb T5 on the 55, and it was pretty good. I mean, I can't say I hated it or that it wasn't effective. I mean, I didn't have hair algae everywhere, and I actually didn't find out what hair algae was until I went to a larger tank. When I upgraded to a 90-gallon, was the first time ever in my reefing career that I had a hair algae.
Mike, I muted you because you couldn't hear anything, so you'll have to unmute yourself, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of Al.
I already muted myself ages ago.
Yeah, I believe it
no,
was
you
an
were still
Eheim.
banging around, mate. You couldn't hear anything.
Michael, you remember asking me what it was? I think it was an Eheim.
Eheim, yeah, they're good units. The Eheims.
Ah, right. Okay. Eheim are one of the best.
Because it had green tubing, but the inside of the tank itself was clear.
Yeah,
Eheim, like a clear white. Yeah,
now,
I mean, I got a
called
shanty in Jersey.
What's called? So about the canister filter, right? I'm about to make all of us a lot of money. You ready? So we can make the canister filter and make a comeback.
Yeah.
All it has to be is a hybrid. So picture this. You have a canister filter, maybe 1 foot, one square feet, 2 feet high, if that, or 1.5 feet high, and you have a compartment that grows Chaeto. So kind of like a Pax Bellum kind of thing. And then you have, your filter socks up top. And like literally filter socks. So basically the top of the canister is going to be like filter sock holders. So it makes it easier to take out for whoever wants to run that shit. And then underneath that is you got your Chaeto reactor area. And then underneath that, you got your live rock or rubble or biohome or whatever, matrix, whatever you want to run. And then it goes back into the tank. Simple as that. Boom, we're millionaires. That'd be dope. All-in-one, like an all-in-one Chaeto reactor that does. That'd be
we was millionaires, but now you've just said it on the live stream.
Yeah, now you can't make it now.
You just got to throw patent pending in there.
Yeah. You know what?
I do.
You know how easy it was, right, TMG, to like go into like a Petco and let's say, for example, it had a 75-gallon tank.
I was more of a Petland. I was more of a Petland guy.
Like Petland, Petco, whoever. But if they had like a 75-gallon tank with ceramic media that had cured or populated with bacteria, they can send people out the door with a 20-gallon tank and a canister filter and a couple gallons of salt water, and they can go home and have a tank up
ready
in 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
If they showed them how to do the canister the right way.
Yeah.
You see, for me, changing out those filter pads on my canister filter was no different than changing out a filter sock.
Yeah.
And all I did was cut a piece of the pink roll thing that I found on Craigslist for like $2 for 75 yards or some crazy crap. I cut a piece, plopped it in, kept it moving. That was it. That's the only thing I ever changed on that canister filter for 3 years. But I did it consistently. You understand? I mean, every 2 weeks, I did it.
What the hell is that?
Okay, Michael again.
I thought I muted myself.
So
bloody belly.
Not all of us have got this in time to just chill out and do nothing.
I've got to go in a minute to do some work.
But
yeah, I mean,
so
imagine what
there's a
that could do for
return.
the hobby.
So there's a return pump in the canister filter.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. But you heard what I said, right? Like even having like a Chaeto reactor inside the
yeah,
canister filter.
yeah.
That'd be so dope.
You can call that the canister plus plus for an advanced reefer who wanted to grow who wanted to grow copepods and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. But what I'm saying, what it could do for the hobby in terms of there is no reactor needed, there is no sump needed, there's no crazy return pump needed. There's a freaking canister sitting underneath your tank with everything you need in it.
Yeah. Like I think we've progressed so much that we actually could like take a bunch of steps back and revisit quote unquote old technology and just re-implement them differently.
Exactly, that's what I'm talking about. There's ways that you can do things differently now, right?
It's not that like any of it was wrong. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you even look at like airplanes, for example, in the dawn of time, like, I mean, when the dawn of airplane era, they had bi-wings, you know what I mean, 2 wings. And the whole logic behind it was we lift. Now we have 1 wing, but the surface area, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like the same concept, but revisited and re-implemented with new technology. Like seriously, if there was like a canister filter that you had like a compartment, like literally like a drawer, I could pull out my filter filter sponge, and just like literally like just like a drawer, just pull it out, change it, and then underneath it you have a little Chaeto reactor, and underneath that, you know what I mean? Like, dude, I would run that versus a sump. There's
a canister filter available at the moment, TMG, by Oaza. And they've got one where it's got a quick release pre-filter. So rather than having to completely open the full canister, you just have like a little tube section where the water passes through first with your pre-filter. A bit like your filter socks or your floss. You just twist it and pull it. You can leave. I don't know, but you just twist it and pull it, and take it out, change the floss, put it back in, and you can leave the canister actually running. It also has. You can also put a heater into the canister filter itself. So it's like a little mini sump. You know what I mean? So these people have sort of like thought of making them easily accessible, because we know that most of us, as the saying goes, if it's difficult, we're less likely to do it. You know what I mean? If something's difficult, the easier it is, the more likely we are to do it. And with canister filters, sometimes they can just be that too far. The fact that it's like, I'll clean the canister filter, and then it's like, and then it's like, I'll do it next week. Just too much hassle. Like, say for example, the Fluval FX6. It's got about 6 or 8 turny screws to get the lid off. And they're not easy to turn, and they're quite, they can dig into your hand. So it's like, by the time you popped them all off, unscrewed them all, popped them off, took the lid off, that alone can take a couple of minutes. Yeah. And it becomes tedious. So then you leave it longer and longer and longer. And I think that's one of the big things with canisters is, because like with a sump, you could just dive straight in. You know what I mean? Boom, you're in there. Whereas canister filters can be bit tedious and a bit of a pain, so people are less likely to maintain them, and that's when they become nitrate factories. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Nick was going to say something then, so go on, Nick. What was you going to say? Nick?
Oh, that was me, Mike.
All right. I thought I heard Nick a couple of times trying to.
Yeah, I was just going to say what TMG was saying about revisiting stuff and essentially looking at things that we do, but in a different light. And I think it kind of reminds me about what I was saying to Tristan a few weeks ago now about the rock, where we thought the more rock, the more bacteria. But the way I kind of view it now, the more rock, the more entrapment, so that you're in a kind of downward spiral of needing the bacteria and the surface area because you're trapping more. Where if you get rid of the mass of rock, you're not trapping as much. So therefore you don't need as much bacteria in the display. You don't need as much volume and mass of rock in the display. That then makes your filtration more efficient, because you can put the more efficient things like Biohome and the new MaxSpect filtration media in your sump after the skimmer, after the mechanical filtration. So that bacterial action is much more efficient because it's dealing with less, waste matter, because you're physically,
with,
mechanically,
like, all the soluble stuff.
because you're physically putting it into, rather than trap it in the display where it's got to break down from solid mass down all the way to fluid mass. You're letting it get to the mechanical filtration in the sump via through the skimmer and the filter floss to remove it physically, and then whatever's left is for the bacteria to deal with. So you're halving or even more the work that the bacteria needed to do. So you're going to end up with a better, more efficient, more stable running system as a whole. But like you were saying, we had biplanes, so 2 wings or 4 wings is better than the 2. When you looked at it, it wasn't as aerodynamic. The weight of it compromised any perceived benefit you were having by doubling up and having more. So I think nowadays, like if I was to put a canister filter on my system, I've got 2 options to do it. One is a pre-filter mechanical filter, and the other one is a biological filter. So if I'm going to run it as a mechanical filter, I'm going to have super high flow, because I want as much water going through it as possible. So the more water that passes through it, the more waste I'm going to physically trap in it. And then I'm going to empty it out as often as I can, maybe even twice a week, because I'm physically removing those solid mass before it breaks down. If I'm going to use the canister filter as a biological filtration, I'm going to have a really, really slow flow and a chunk load of bacterial media like the Biohome or the Max Spec media, something like that. And then I'm going to have a different way of either look at my stocking so it's not as waste productive, or like you were saying, have it running alongside a sump where I've got good mechanical filtration in that, and maybe like your Cheeto and stuff as well to trap the solids. And that canister filter is purely for bacterial mass. So I want an extremely slow flow. So I'm getting huge areas of anaerobic areas in there, and anaerobic bacteria that's going to break down that nitrate. So I remember speaking to George Farmer and Jeremy Gay back in the day, who were freshwater scapers, right? Freshwater people. And they were saying to me that they tried using a sump-based system for planted tanks, and it just didn't work because it degassed all the CO2 out of the system. So they'd have to pump in crap loads of CO2 for the plants to grow. But what I said to them was, well, how did you design the sump to work with that? And they said, oh, no, we just used a saltwater tank. Well, a saltwater tank sump isn't designed for freshwater use. So I said, well, did you bury the pipes so that they weren't dropping into the water, wasn't cascading, dropping into the water? Did you bury the pipes underneath the surface of the sump so it wasn't crashing and degassing? And then also, because of the higher water volume, surface area of the sump, that's where you're going to get that gas exchange, right? So I said, so why didn't you put some floatable covers, on top of the water surface so that there was no exchange of gas, because you capped it, and you could put floatable like polystyrene on there. So as the water rose and dropped with the evaporation, if you like, of the main tank, you didn't have any contact time with the atmosphere, then that would have cut out the gas exchange as well. And they hadn't done that. So to me, it's not that you can't use sumps for plants because it doesn't work. It's manipulating the sump in order to work, and that's what I think we're talking about with canister filters and other things that we've done in the past. I think modern understanding and modern methods, you can go back to some of the like canister filters, but tweak it a different way to work with the modern methods. That's how I see it.
Yeah, like look at what's called like at Reef Palooza when the guys that did the roller mat filter socks, right? And they completely redid it where it's a lot smaller now, and it's the size of a filter sock. Now, like if you look at like all these like little add-ons that we have for the sump, like for example, like that, what I mean? Like if you had like a 2x2 canister filter, you could put so much stuff in there because, for the most part, the sump, it's a lot of water in the sump. You know what I'm saying? So if you actually like use the physical space of it, you have square skimmers. Like you could put so much in a 2x2 area. if you're not concerned about water volume. You know what I'm saying? So you can incorporate that. So just like you're saying, Nick, I wouldn't mind changing my filter socks twice a week or something like that, if that's the route you want to go. Now, if you incorporate a technology like those guys did with the roller mats, you wouldn't really you could have it run for months and not change a thing just by incorporating that technology. And like I was going back to like the Chato reactor. That's like you know what I'm saying. Like you could also incorporate that, and then you have the biohomes and the pond matrix and all that stuff. You can incorporate so much. Hang on the back skimmers can make a comeback. They have their, you know what I mean? They have their place. You could like incorporate hang on the back style filter within a canister filter, like, and actually make it so compact.
Well, if you think about it with canisters, think of a canister and then also think of a reactor. Basically,
exactly. I would look at a canister filter as one massive reactor with multi-chambers.
You put a nice bit of filter floss in chamber one. The bottom. Normally, what happens is the water goes into a canister filter and flows right down to the bottom down the pipe, and then it makes its way back up through the filter, and that's when it goes through the media. So if you put a nice bit of filter floss, something, a nice fine grade of thingy to keep all the muck out, and then in the next few trays or whatever else, you could have rower in there, you could have carbon in there, filter medias and stuff, and really turn it into like a proper reactor. You know what I mean? Like you could use it for that. And then on your other one, so if you run two, for example, you could have one that is just a sole and utter mechanical filtration machine. Sponges after sponges, blah, blah, blah. When that water comes out of there, it is polished. And then the other canister filter can be an out-and-out sort of like biological / chemical machine. You know what I mean? Where it's just like thinking yourself.
But yeah, you wouldn't
need a skimmer.
Sponges on sponges. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
obviously,
we're at a point. We're at a point where, like, people like me, a lot of people, we have problems even getting readings for nutrients, let's say. You know what I'm saying? Just because of how...
I wish.
But, like, we have problems with registering nutrients in our town. And so that just goes to show that whole, like, you can do sponges on top of sponges. You won't even need that. You know what I mean? Just because we could implement everything else so much more efficiently.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, that's the thing. It's presuming that you need filter floss and filter socks. It's presuming that you need a skimmer on your system, because if you do things a certain way, you don't actually need those things. If you balance your system, you don't even need those things. So that's why I find it strange sometimes that everyone's going mad over these rotational filter pads. And it's because, like, you've heard me before talking about reefing with fear and reefing by design. And it's almost like, how much food do you need to feed? Who knows? So they tend to overfeed. And the result of overfeeding is needing filter socks, So if you balanced your system, I mean, and you've seen it done because there's so many tanks out there that don't run skimmers. There's so many people out there that say, I can't get my nitrates up, I can't get my phosphates up enough because the system's too clean, and I don't use filter socks, and I'm feeding loads, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing that. So how and why does that occur? So I think it's like, I mean, I can write about this forever, because it's like with me, and I spoke to Michael about the hellfire, Michael.
That wasn't me.
It was
that was me. Keep talking.
Stop it now.
Racist. Okay, what? Because I'm black or because I'm brown, I'm the noisy one.
No,
PMG's black. Racist.
No, because you're stupid. That's why.
I'm dark white. I am dark white.
Stupidity is irrelevant of race.
I am dark white.
But it's like flow, and I spoke to Mark about this when they say SPS needs high flow. LPS needs medium flow, softies need low flow. How much is high flow? Give me a volume, give me a quantity, give me a measurement. And people go, well, it's between 30 and 40 times turnover. What does that mean? And it's through lack of knowledge, lack of data, lack of understanding, that you've seen it before. You'll go onto Facebook and someone says, "Oh, my coral isn't doing very well," and they say, "Oh, what are your parameters? What light are you using, and how much flow have you got?" And then when they say, "My lighting's radian, my flow is 30 to 40 times turnover, and my parameters are spot on." Oh, well, I don't know then, because that's all. You know what I mean? Because that's all there is to it: light, flow, and parameters. And that's where I really think the ICP testing came in, because now you're able to look at minor trace elements, things like tin, silicates, other things that have a bearing on things, carbon, just all the things that we don't generally test for, iron, iodine, and then that's shown that when you can see those things and you alter those trace elements, it makes a huge difference. But up until then, it was like, oh, well, we don't know what's wrong with it. So the things that we do know in terms of flow rates and things, that's what I'd like to get a better understanding of. Is it the amount of flow, or is it the type of flow? Yeah, exactly.
Hey, yo, Nick. Oh, man, Nick, I'm about to be your baby daddy. Like, Nick, that whole turnover crap, I don't, what I mean? It makes no sense, because because look at the ocean.
Yeah.
Right? Just if you look at the ocean, and when you use metrics like flow rates, it doesn't translate on the scale. Like, I'm trying to say it the best way I can. It doesn't translate well. Because if you look at the ocean, if you make a box in the ocean 3 feet by 3 feet, or 1 foot by 1 foot, and that water moves, it moves like at a certain rate.
Yeah.
And the more area you have, the more technically you're increasing that rate, because you have more area to cover now. So you can't compare that to like a power head. They just don't translate together. Like, you know what I mean? 100 gallons an hour in the ocean is nothing. You know what I mean? 1,000 gallons an hour in the ocean is insignificant. You get what I'm saying? So the ocean is moving thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons per hour. It's just like in one wave motion, you literally just had a whole coastline pushed up 2 feet.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So metrics like that don't translate. It's the motions. To me, it's the motion and the turbulence versus the actual amount of water flowing.
Yeah. I mean, as an example of that, I've heard, people talking about, really simple coral like pulsing xenia. Why do they pulse? And, people saying nobody knows why they pulse. But we do know why they pulse.
I've heard somebody say that.
Yeah, but we know why they pulse. They pulse because they're generating their own flow. That's why they pulse. Because if you put a pulsing xenia in a decent amount of flow, they stop pulsing. When you put it in a still water area,
I've seen that. I've seen that where pulsing xenias don't pulse in like high flow.
Yeah, because what the reason why they pulse is because they're lifting water through the coral to replenish and pull away, the waste.
Acros
they're aerating themselves. Yeah, and they're aerating themselves.
If you ever kill your flow for a long time, you'll see acros starting to pulse. The polyps start pulsing. It's just like, I think it's just like a natural reaction, just kind of like you flailing your arms when somebody chokes you.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
I've seen my acro. If you shut your tank completely off for about 15 minutes, you'll see the tentacles like start doing like a whipping motion on your acros.
Yeah, and there's data, there's white papers, there's articles where people have done research and have got a pulsing xenia and studied it and watched it, and then they've put it under different flow rates and they've taken notes. They've examined the tissue of the pulsing xenia to find the oxygen content of the tissue, to see, what it does and why it does it and what differences it makes. So we know why it does that, whether you, and this is the thing sometimes for me, the old reefing mantras like nothing good happens in a reef, nothing good happens fast in a reef. What are you talking about when you say that? Because a lot of people say that when you're stocking with fish, and for me, no, get the fish in, because as soon as you get the fish in, the sooner you're creating that biosystem. If you leave an empty tank without fish, you're creating a whole different biosystem because you haven't got the fish in there to guide it along a certain track of development. You know, so for me, the way I do my systems is first day, bang, fish, get them producing ammonia, no lights because I don't want algae. You know, get that bacteria established. You use a biopellet reactor to cultivate your bacteria quicker. Establish the bacteria, you know?
You know, the funny thing is, Nick, you saying that is actually, it plays right into that quote unquote nothing good happens fast. So if you look at it like, if you hit your tank with a crap load of fish, right? Like, you know, smartly, nothing, not being stupid about it, but a smart amount, you get your bacteria, they start spiking and they build up to the population where they need to maintain that. To me, that's stability. Versus you add one fish and it spikes and then levels off. Add two fish, spikes, levels off. Three fish, spikes, level. You're constantly doing this like a stair step. Constantly doing a stair step by doing it one by one by one. Like, you know what I mean? Like, honestly, dude, I'm glad I'm not like stuck on that old school mentality and I do shit the way I do it. You know what I mean?
Well, how long have you been doing it now for, Timsy? How long have you been?
10 months. 10 months.
10 months. So I've been
on the Reefapalooza. I bought my bottle of bacteria and I took it home and started. So on Reefapalooza, every Reefapalooza, my tank ages a year. Right. So on Reefapalooza, my tank will turn one.
So you probably know me then for nearly as long as you've been reefing, right? Probably.
I knew you. I think about
started.
two or 3 months because you helped me with my skate. I remember you were telling me about drilling the rocks and shit like that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, the thing is, I'm old enough and been in the hobby long enough to remember why these sayings came about. But fast forward to today, a lot of it's outdated, but for some reason we still hold on to it. And it's almost like buying a car with wind-up windows instead of electric windows. Yeah. You know, who would be happy with that nowadays? You'd be complaining, right? Yep. You'd be complaining and you'd be saying, hey, hang on a sec, I've just bought this car, it's got windy-up windows. What the hell? Right? You wouldn't be happy with that.
Unless it's a race car, it has no purpose anymore. Like, but seriously.
But
unless it's for weight reduction, exactly.
Yeah, but then in the reefing hobby, we want to hold on to these sayings and these things. Why is it? Because we're scared to think different ways? Is it because we're scared to try different ways? Because guess what? It might kill your fish. You know, I can kill any argument, or anyone can kill any argument about a new product or about a new method or anything. All you have to do is go into that conversation and say, yeah, but it might kill your fish or kill your coral. You need to be careful. Nothing good happens fast in the reef. You know what? Everybody goes, oh, I better not do it then. Because it's reefing with fear and rather than reefing by design with understanding, right? So those arguments, because if you look at the hobby in general and you broke it, I mean, I don't know how you'd be able to do this, but you'd have to do a survey, I guess. But if you took a survey of all the people in the hobby at this moment in time today, and you said, how long have you been in the hobby for? How many people, in terms of a percentage, have been doing it for 20 plus years, 10 to 20 years, 5 to 10 years, and 0 to 5 years, and 0 to 1 year? Because I think you probably find that a majority of the hobby, or the majority of the hobbyists, have more than likely been doing it from 0 to maybe 5, and maybe 5 to 10. I doubt there's a huge percentage of hobbyists that have been doing it 10 years plus.
Because they all gave up. A lot of them.
I think basically because not that they give up, but I just don't think that when you see it all the time, like Michael was saying earlier about his YouTubing, people get tired of the hobby. Yeah. People do get tired of it. They do it for a long time and they go, I've done it. I'm just doing the same thing over and over again. I'm done it. I'm going to do something different as a hobby. I'm going to move on and do something else. And you see people dropping off all the time and people come and the legends and then they go away. So I wonder how many people in the hobby today have been doing the reefing for more than 5 years or more than 10 years. And I reckon the huge percentage of people are young reefers. So when you say things like, oh, don't do that because it might kill, I mean, like bubbling is a good example. Oh, don't do bubbling because it might kill your fish and your coral. There's a lot of people that are going to believe you because they haven't got the experience or the knowledge because they're still young reefers. And if that's a majority of the people in the hobby, like I said, you can kill an argument or a debate just by saying those things because the younger hobbyists are going to be like, I better not do it.
Yeah.
I better not take that risk. I don't want to lose fish. I don't want to lose coral.
Yeah, because the legend said so.
But you can say that about anything, though. It's like, oh, if you feed too much, you're going to kill your tank. Like, I don't know.
You're the worst one for it, Dev.
You drop it. What am I? I'm the worst one.
You're the worst one for it. It's like with your ozone.
Awesome.
When we were talking about ozone, and you were like, I don't, I'll do 0.5%, and I'll do this, do this. I'm not saying that you're wrong by doing that at all. So I'm not disrespecting you. But what I'm saying is that what I liked about what you did was you research to find out. But it's a step-by-step approach. But why do you do that? Because it's cautiousness, right? If I said, right, Dev, stick it straight onto 10 milligrams per day, you'd be, ooh, I'm not sure about this because I'm leading you into a dark place and there's no lights on. And you're literally holding my hand and I'm going, come this way. And you're like, but I can't see because you didn't at that time have all the information and the confidence and everything else. So you looked into it. And that's what I'm talking about because at that moment in time when I'm saying, here, Dev, hold my hand, I'm going to take you into this dark cave, somewhere you've never been and you don't know what's in there, but trust me, be confident in me. If somebody else had said to you, Dev, don't do it, whatever you do, because I did that and it killed my tank, you're going to be really apprehensive to trust me then, right? Well, and that's why I'm saying any debate, any argument is very easily killed by somebody saying, oh, I did that and it killed all my tank. Irregardless of what they did or how they did it, it's a fear that everybody in this hobby is...
Just as a bit of a disclaimer, just in case there's any children watching, if any man comes over to you and asks you to follow him into a dark cave, they know. Stranger danger.
But Nick, like the big thing on that is like you got to look at both sides of it, right? Okay, you killed your tank. How much were you using, and how big was your tank? If they're using 50 milligrams on their nano versus 50 milligrams on a couple 100-gallon tank is a big difference.
Well, people don't think that way though, Dev. You do. Some people do, which is great. But majority of people just simply don't because they're still learning. They're still under this impression that if I take one step the wrong direction, I could crash my tank.
Everything. Yeah?
I mean, remember, even on your own stream, Dev, we had notable people like Richard Ross, and Terence, who's in charge of a big company within this industry, Neptune, right? A big company, and they were debating as to whether bubbling worked or not.
Yep.
Bubbling. Introducing oxygen into your tank. Is it going to do anything positive or negative? And they were arguing against it. Notable people, curator of a public aquarium, who should know, down to things like molecular exchange of gases within a coral cell. And he was still, it's snake oils. So what hope do the rest of us have?
Well,
if you've got that mentality from that type of a notable person who was introduced as this guy's a notable, Terence introduced him as a notable representative of all that is reefing. And even he was like debating against bubbling. When you and other people in that debate were saying, we've noticed, anecdotally, we've noticed positive effects. We don't have the data, we don't understand the data, but we've seen with our own eyes the positive effects. And even that wasn't good enough for somebody of that stature. So
that's just one person's clothes.
It is, but look at what he represents.
That one person represents.
Look what he represents.
Exactly, that one person represents a lot. You know what I mean? Because people are being influenced by them, and I think
if you think about it this way, Dad, me and you, we're influencers. But me and you, if we say something, some people go, But if somebody above us, say somebody like Terence or this guy or whatever said it, or Lengthside said it, or somebody else, people, or even Cruz or, you know, whatever, people would more rap, whereas they would say, I don't know to us, but to people like that, they'll just say, oh, well, they're in a higher sort of like esteem. So, yeah, I'll go with that one. You know what I mean? Without even thinking. So, you know, obviously with influencers, some people will take stuff and just go, yeah, boom, no problem. Some people won't. But, you know, obviously the higher up the pecking order, so to speak, you are. Mike Paletta, for example. Mike Paletta could say to you that flipping table salt is good enough for your tank. And a majority of people would go, well, Mike Paletta said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Simple. Because that's obviously the influence thing. So obviously if you've got people that in that stature that are saying, snake oil, then obviously other people will go, snake oil, because they said it. You know what I mean?
What's called going like just to touch on that, Michael. You know, at the end of the day, we like something amongst ourselves. We all say to each other, "Man, it's just a hobby," right? And that's, bless you. That's something I think a lot of people who get easily influenced don't look at it as just a hobby. Because me coming from being a car guy, you know what I mean? Somebody tells you, oh, you can't run 2 bars. You can't run your turbocharger 2 bars on a stock motor. Why not? Because it'll blow up. Did yours blow up? Yeah. I'm like, well, you did something wrong. I'm going to do it. And I've done it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I've done things where people say, because to me it was a hobby. And if my engine fails, so learn something. And I think that's what separates a hobby from, how do I say, a fad. You don't necessarily get swayed by negative outcomes. And that's how I treat my tank. If something bad happens, for me, it's just like a big learning step, you know? And a lot of people are too scared to let bad things happen. So to me, it's not a hobby for them. It's bad, you know? And I wish we could take it back to where people were willing to try shit with their tank. Like, you know, that's how we got to where we... Yeah, no, you definitely do. You know what I mean? And that's how we got to where we got. You know what I mean? Is because people weren't afraid to kill a few things here and there.
Yeah, well, now when you have $100 corals, it's hard. I understand what you say, TMG. I fully understand. Yeah. I'm just playing devil's advocate. Just for But when somebody's spending $100 for a Jason Fox specialty Space Invader, it's hard to tell them to try something. You know, if it was like $5
totally agree, Seymour. And that's why people like me and you are predators on a forum waiting for the next tank part out. Because everybody goes in and they buy Jason Fox this, Reef Raft that, and then they got to part the tank out. Because it's a fad. It's a fad.
But then what the hell are you guys doing? What are you doing? Buying $100 frags when you've been in the hobby
you have
for a brief moment in time? What the hell? It'd be like me learning to drive and then the next week buying a Lamborghini and then going, oh, look, I crashed it.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to drive home. Like, I don't care about that stuff.
Let somebody else who knows how to keep that coral keep it.
Exactly.
Don't waste the coral, man. Mm-hmm. Learn the craft and then move up.
Seymour knows me. Nick. Who the hell is that?
Is it Michael again?
I've turned the camera off. I forgot to turn the mute.
I'm in mute.
See, the thing is like, for me now, you guys really, you should have tanks full of Pulse Xenia, and that's it. Be happy with that until you learn a bit more. Then get a LPS, learn that. Then get an SPS, learn that. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's a case of you
bunch of amateurs.
Well, for me, if you have that mentality, what you'll never do is paint yourself into a corner, right? Because then you're going to be in a situation like O's just explained, is you're scared to do anything because you don't understand what you're doing, because in case you do something that's going to be detrimental to the coral that's in your tank. Well, don't have that coral in your tank.
Yeah.
You know, don't have that coral. Learn,
until you feel
practice,
comfortable.
Understand what is the rudimentaries. Learn to hone your craft. Then move up in pricing of coral. If you did that and you wanted that Jason Fox coral in your tank, wouldn't you learn quicker to obtain that coral? But instead, you can throw down the green, yeah, take the coral away from you, stick it in the tank, and you go, ah, shit, now I'm scared to do anything in case it dies. What kind of passion are you going to be able to have for your hobby by doing that? You then become a prisoner to that coral.
Well, an example of that is this coral right here. You know, sharp shortcake. You know, I've always tried to keep it. I've always tried to keep it, but never been able to because I've always been in that situation where it's like, oh, I don't know whether or not it's going to survive, but I'll get it anyway, and it didn't. Whereas now, I'm comfortable with the tank to say, I feel I can keep it, and not only keep it, grow it. You know what I mean? I feel like I can keep anything that I want now. You know what I mean? Because I've got a better understanding. It's sort of like, I've got a better knowledge and a better base to say that I'm happy and I think I can do it. So now I've got a strawberry shortcake there, which is, beautifully coloured up. You can't really tell very well in here. Strawberry shortcake there. I've got another one there. Look at that one. Another strawberry shortcake there. Over there, we've got a red planet. No, that's a red planet, that one. That's a red planet. And then here, another red planet. So corals, which are sort of renowned for being pretty thingy, but, look at those. Last year, I could have only dreamed of having something like that, grow it. Even this, weirdly enough, this one, Fistrix, it always dies, but it's growing. So, yeah. What? What?
See, for me, it's a case of, why don't you rather than like attempt to do stuff and then lose it and say, right, I won't do that again. Let the, failure be your motivator. So every coral you get, if you lose one, let that be a really big kick up the ass in terms of, I don't want to experience that at all. If you did that, you're developing your craft before wasting. I mean, look what's going on at the moment. Hawaii bans, Indo bans. You're going to get to a point where stuff is so damn expensive that you're going to be going, God, can you remember all that strawberry shortcake that I killed? Imagine the value of that now, and you'd be like, geez, I can't believe I did that. What was I thinking? Yeah. And part of it, I'll be honest with you, is the reason why we're getting these bans. Because people get strawberry shortcake, kill it, want another one, kill it, want another one, kill it. Where is that coming from? It's been harvested. So we're creating the situation ourselves by not being more ethical about the way that we reef. Because, again, it's that I've just passed my driving test and I've seen this big shiny Lamborghini and that's the car that I want. Is it the car that you should buy? No. But you want it, so you buy it because you got the dollar, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's strange. I've been watching streams this last week, even though I haven't been partaking on them. I've been sitting on a few streams, watching a few videos from different people. And I don't know, we seem to have got into this mindset of anything that we do is okay. And if you lose a coral, it's just part of the learning curve. And that's what sometimes you do, and you learn from your mistakes and all that. And a part of me thinks, is that because we're crazy humans that always do that? We rape the earth of natural resources, but it's okay. Are we being thoughtful enough and being conscientious enough, or is it the case of because we can, we do? Because we can, should we? Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I'll probably come into these streams with a different point of view now. And if people say to me, oh, look, my tank's this and that and blah, 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 I'll probably be like, well, what the hell were you thinking? Because you've got to take responsibility for your own actions. And when things die, it's because this happened and that happened. Well, why did you let it? If that Jason Fox coral wasn't $100 frag and it was a $10,000 frag, would you have still done the same thing? Would you have even bought it in the first place? Because guess what? One day it might be $1,000 frag when you can't get them anymore. So what are we going to be doing then? We will all be having tanks full of Pulsing Xenia and Montipora because there'll be nothing left for us to buy, which I think would be a real shame, right?
Yeah.
So what are we doing?
Definitely feel you on that.
Yeah. So what are we doing? What are we doing as hobbyists? What are we doing as reefers? Are we being responsible or not?
Yeah. Like me, there's certain corals I would never put in my tank. Like needy corals, Trachophilia, never.
Why?
You know, that's just because my flow. I've had one, and my flow strips the skin off of it. I can't find anywhere in the tank where the flow won't strip the shit out of it.
And that's the responsibility, and that's what I think. That's what we need more of. Team we need some more of that responsibility.
And there's nothing like a really fat, nice meat coral. No homo. That I love meat corals. I love them. Like the acanthophilias. I love them. Because they come in these really cool colors. The scolophilias. Love them, but I can't. I gotta stick with what I created my tank to do. And that's sticks and plates.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing for me is I hate it when I see people posting up on Facebook and other stuff, and they have bought something, a fish or a coral or whatever, and they say, "Can somebody tell me what this is? I like the look of it, so I bought it." And it's like, what the hell? So you bought something, you didn't even know what it was, what its requirements was, whether it suited your tank, whether it suited your lighting, your flow, your anything. You just bought it. You've murdered it.
Yeah.
Who would do that? It's like craziness. Exactly, and that's the problem, Dave. For lots of people do, because it's treasure. They want to covet something that looks pretty, that's exciting for them. And for me, I think we need to look at the mentality of which we're operating within this hobby, because if we start to demonstrate our responsibility, then maybe the governments of countries would start to say, yeah, these aren't wasteful people.
Yeah,
these are responsible people.
And that goes back to what I said, Nick. A lot of people aren't hobbyists. It's a fact. And it is what it is. Like every hobby has bad niche in it.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it does give things a bad reputation. And it kind of is what it is. But man, I just think we need to just educate more.
Yeah, no, you're right. We need to educate more. I think we need to do. I mean, I don't do YouTube videos, but it'd be nice to see people doing more YouTubes about rudimentary stuff. Sending out the message that, don't buy something unless you can keep it.
Yeah.
Let that be, the pass mark that when you bought it, it's because you deserve it.
Yeah.
Because you put the work in, you've got the understanding, you've got the knowledge, you've got the know-how, and you've proved that to yourself with the stock that you've got. And when we start to say, oh, this coral requires this, so if you haven't got it, don't fucking buy it.
Yeah.
Let it be a trophy of your experience and your expertise, so that when you say, I bought this coral, other people go, wow, are you ready for that coral? Yeah, because I've done this, and this. I've done due diligence. I've done my due diligence. I've taken responsibility. I've earned the right of passage to obtain that coral. Rather than seeing that coral as a trophy, so you go out and buy it, look what I've got in my tank, and everyone go, oh, wow, that's really nice. Oh, guess what? 3 weeks later, it's fucking dead.
Yeah. Like freaking like the whole idea of reefing saltwater is hard. I like that. You know what I mean? I like that stigma because it keeps certain people out from abusing the hobby, because if somebody looks at it, that just clearly reflects that I don't want to put in the effort to learn this. And I love that, because that's like a barrier of entry. And I have a cousin, she's into freshwater, and she's in love with my tank, and she's just like, I can't imagine how much time you spend a week. I was like, I don't even clean my skimmer. My skimmer just sits there to pull air. It doesn't even remove anything. And I told her, I was like, I literally barely checked up on my tank. The only thing I do is fill up dosing supplements and fill up water. That's pretty much it. I was like, I can feed my fish from anywhere in the world. And that's just because I set up the contingencies to do that. For me to be a hands-off reefer for the most part. And then she's heard about stuff like ick and stuff like that. I was just like, listen, don't go in the fish store and buy the first fish you see when they get it from a shipment. Let it live. Let the fish live there for ask them to hold it for you. Just let them do all that stuff. If you don't want to go through the whole quarantine and all that bullshit, let them do all that stuff. You know, I told you, it's all about, like you said, due diligence. You know, once you do your due diligence, you know, I mean, there's going to be stuff that are inevitable, you know, where we can't control.
Yeah, you're going to get equipment failures. You're going to get power cuts and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, those things, to an extent, are unavoidable, you know, and that's almost to the point of being acceptable because it's an accident, right? It's not something you've planned, but, you know, like you were saying, my advice to any customers is if you see would make on that fish and he's going to want to buy another fish that he wants us to keep for 2 weeks, put that responsibility onto their shoulders. Maybe then the local fish shops would be better at holding fish. Because it's easy to buy a fish in and then move it on.
Yeah, exactly.
So put some more responsibility back onto their shoulders. Get it so that the shops are saying, as a trend, an advertisement, we hold your fish for 2 weeks for your confidence in our stock and our abilities. We're a good shop. And then how many people will go and buy from them because they're advertising that, you know? Everybody always says the same thing, and I've seen this throughout the years, where they say, I'd rather pay a little bit more knowing that it's a good quality fish that's been caught with a net rather than cyanide, that it's been in good processes, and the shop does a full quarantine, and by the time I get it, I can see that it's been fattened up after being fasted for shipping, and I know they medicate, there's no intestinal worms, there's no gill flukes, there's nothing of that because they medicate the systems. And that takes time, you know, rather than a shop where they walk in one day and the guy says, yes, it just came in yesterday, and they bag it up and they take it home to lose it within 2 weeks. You know, but they say that, but they don't do it because when they see that nice, pretty fish or that nice, pretty coral that just came in the day before, they want to immediately get it in their tank and show it off to people. That's what we need to start working against, in that, when did you buy that fish? Oh, yesterday. When did it come into the shop? The day before. Shit, you shouldn't have bought it. You know, we should be telling those hobbyists, you shouldn't do that. It's wrong. The way to do it is to have the shop hold it for at least a week. That should be the way that it's done. That should be a hobbyist rule.
I have a good strategy. Is one of the stores that I buy from, they post their stuff usually online, and I purposely will be like, oh, hold me that one, and I don't show up for at least a week.
Yeah. But they should be advertising that as a service to you, Dev. They should be saying, we won't let you have it for a week because we want to make sure this is a quality stock that we're selling you, and there's no risk to you. Because pretty much you can pretty much be sure that if somebody's held a fish for you for a week, 2 weeks, and then you put it in your tank and it dies within a couple of weeks, then dies in a few days, you then got to look at yourself. You know, for that, right? And you got to take responsibility yourself.
I've got to do a bit of a shout out to Eco Marine on that side of things, because even though they're a distributor, so, you know, the likes of me and you know, can't really buy from them. We have to buy from a shop that supplies their stuff. Well, I can, but you know what I'm saying? Is they, like, when I got Freddy, for example, Freddy the Frogfish, even though they are a distributor, I had to wait a month before Eco Marines would release that fish to me. So it went through quarantine. You know what I mean? It went through a quarantine procedure, and I had to wait. There was no other which way. They didn't just go, oh, because it's you, we'll let you have it early. You know what I mean? It's like, no, we're not. You know, not that I asked them to, but still, I know if I would have said, come on, you know, can you give it me early? I want to put it on YouTube or whatever. They'd have just said no, because they've got a policy of making sure that those fish, those corals, are in a certain way before they leave them. And I love that, you know. And the thing is if a distributor can do that, why can't shops? But the thing is as well is, if you use distributors that do that, then the shops don't really have to, you know what I mean? The shops can then, you know, have that peace of mind to say that I can trust this distributor and whatever else. But it's a bit difficult because obviously with certain things, people, what they say and what they do is two different things. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, you know, you got to give props, because although we can be quite, well, especially me, can be quite negative towards shops, because, you know, you always, as human beings, we always look at the negative more than we do the positive. There is some really good eggs out there, you know. There's some people that are actually doing it to the fullest, There's other people that are half doing it, but even something is better than nothing. You know what I mean? So, you know, you've got to give things, because at the end of the day, they are running a business and they do have to make money. And they can't, you know, put corals in quarantine for 12 weeks, for example, because it just doesn't make financial sense.
Yeah,
Still,
fuck 'em. That's my attitude. Fuck them. If you got a store, right? We've got 100 stores that are doing, you know, half the job, then fuck them. We want 25 to 30 stores that are exceptional. That's their responsibility. So yeah, it is a business, but don't do the business if you can't afford to do it the right way.
Yeah.
That's my attitude. So if you want to open a local fish shop and you're a hobbyist and you think it's going to be easy, you know, then you got another thing coming, because it's not easy. The way you unpack direct shipments is completely different to how you acclimatize a fish when you've bought it from the store and taken it home. You've got other issues, other parameters to consider when you're dealing in livestock shipments from overseas, right? And that's the problem. It's too easy to become a local fish shop. And because when you become a local fish shop and everyone floods in because you're a new shop in the area, you make money. You can make money from doing that, you know. And for me, I'd rather try and raise the bar by putting responsibility back onto local fish store and say, if you do not hold fish for me for a week to 2 weeks, I'm not going to shop with you, because the other store does. So raise your quality of local, you know, being a local fish store to that level. Otherwise, you're going to go under and you won't have a business. You know, that's the only way you're going to raise the bar with local stores.
Yeah.
Because the way they do it now is they're cheaper. You know, they'll do it by price. Or if I go and buy a yellow tank from this store, it's 35 quid. If I buy it from that store, it's 45 quid. And then people buy with the pockets rather than with their responsibilities.
Hey,
that's the problem.
It's worth $10 more if it's been pre-quarantined and, you know, there's no issues. And
yeah, but you know what, Dev? When you go into the store that's selling it cheaper, you know what they tell you? They'll say, oh, there's nothing wrong with our stock. Look at it swimming around and eating. You know, why go up there when it's more expensive? Fuck those guys. We need them out of this business. We need them out of the trade.
Like, sadly, they did close down, but the one place that I used to do, he would take all his stuff home for about a month before he bring it to the store, like pre-quarantine everything. Loved that. Took away so much worry for me.
But that's what we need to do. We need to put emphasis on people like that.
And it was
more expensive. It is more expensive.
I would rather spend an extra.
But it pays off. Exactly, but it pays off. You know?
Yeah.
If you have to, let's say if you're going to open up the LFS, if you have to like start backstocking a lot of stuff, 2 months, a month in advance, just to put them through the process, you know, of quarantine and all that stuff, that when you open your doors day one, you're not just unboxing shit. It's worth it because you get a reputation. A lot of LFSs get shut down. I'm glad they do because they can't meet the criteria of good hobbyists.
No. And that's why I think at the moment in the modern era, because of YouTube, because of Facebook, because of the internet, the real power has moved. In the old days, maybe 15, 20 years ago, you go to the local fish shop and that's where you find out that there's a new pump, there's a new skimmer, there's a new piece of kit. And the shopkeeper would tell you about that equipment and say, oh, we've got the new skimmers in and this is what it does. And they'd educate you. Nowadays, that doesn't happen anymore. You go on to Reef Builders, you learn about that kit. Even before it's been released, you hear about it. We've got beta testers for Neptune equipment, right? Like Acer, who's telling us about the new pump before it's even available on the market. What do you think about it, Acer? Oh, yeah, it's really good. It does this, it does that. It's brilliant. We're anticipating it hitting the store so we can go and buy it. We're pre-ordering from the stores before they've even got it in stock. So at the moment, that power has shifted to the hobbyist, because if you go to the store and order, the kit, and the store doesn't have it in stock because he's never heard of it, it only takes 2-3 hobbyists asking him for that product. Guess what? He's going to order. He's going to find out where to buy it from. If you go onto YouTube and you shame a shop because of their poor practices, that's going to get a lot of people looking at that store and saying, what the hell, man? We've seen it, like you guys over there, when I've seen videos about people going into Petco and asking the assistant, saying, what the hell's happened to your tanks? You've got algae everywhere. I can see your filtration isn't right. And the poor assistant going, yeah, we've had some issues with our filtration. And the guy saying to them, well, don't you think you should fucking sort it out? Don't you think you should do something about it? And then that publicity, that negative publicity, is going to put huge pressure on those stores.
Yeah.
So for me, if you want to be hobbyists and you don't be victims, then do something about it. You know, do something about it. Review the good shops.
Yeah. Like,
you know, when you find a good shop, review them. Tell people about it. Tell them why it's a good shop. The difference between this and a bad shop.
Yeah. Like going back to like what Michael said to you about that that distribution person, that company.
Yeah.
Like it's that whole chain of like command. So if they put all their stuff through the, you know what I mean, through the proper processes, then it trickles down to the LFS. You know, it's just like, so LFS gets a hold of it. You know, they do their due diligence and then pass it down to the hobbyists. And, you know, you do have hobbyists that do their own due diligence, set up quarantine, all that kind of stuff. But it kind of takes the ease, the burden of hobbyists, where, like you said, if you take it home, it dies, it's on you, you know? There's like, if everybody's in that chain does what they have to do and you kill it, it's all on you, you know?
See, I'm going to be a bit controversial as always, but I personally feel that the local fish shop is the broken, not fully broken, but is the broken part of the chain. Because, like Nick was saying, it is so easy to open a fish shop. You know, if I've got a bit of money in my back pocket now, I can go and buy some empty tanks, set them up in whichever way I want. You know what I mean? Get the council around to this thingy and say, this is my fish shop or whatever. This is my domain, and as long as it, you know, ticks their boxes, I'm now a local fish shop. You know, regardless of who I am or whatever, I'm a fish shop. And then as soon as, and this is in this country, but as soon as you've got that bricks and mortar, you are now classed as the go-to person. You are now classed as the expert. You know what I mean? You might have absolutely no knowledge at all and you just had a bit of money in your back pocket and you decided to open up a shop. Yeah. Now you are the go-to person. You're the influencer. You know what I mean? And quite a lot of times, shops have been set up in that way. You know, just some guy who enjoys his hobby, got a bit of money in his back pocket and goes, I'm going to make money from this and I'm going to open a shop. And then they realise, oh crap, I've got to do accounts. I've got to water change every day. I've got to order new fish. I've got to order new corals. I've got to do this, that, the other. And they realise it's not as easy as it looks. And then they lose that passion and they don't continue to learn. So then a couple of years down the road, the shop's still open, but the information and stuff that they're providing is sometimes tired, sometimes old, sometimes no longer relevant because they may have just been somebody that wasn't really a well-versed hobbyist in the first place, but they had money. So now that inexperienced person or whatever is now the influencer of other people. So sometimes I personally think that the broken part of this chain is the local fish shop, and they should be just used as they are, a shop. So, you know, distributors, manufacturers, they should be the people that are providing the information. They're the people that are, you know, doing everything that they need to get that out there, to provide, you know, these fish shops with the correct information and stuff like that on how to do things and whatever else. And all the shops do is just sell, yo, here you go, buy that, because there's so many avenues now for information, like what Nick was saying, you know, these forums, these reef builders, these YouTubers, these whatever, you know, on many, many occasions now, the average hobbyist knows more than the fish shop owner. You know what I mean? So I think personally, like, you know, obviously we should question everything. If we go to a local fish shop and they say do this, don't do what they say straight away. Walk away, or, you know, just go, all right, thank you, and get your phone out. Do a bit of research whilst you're in the shop. And if everything that you research matches what they say, do it. Because at the end of the day, your tank is your own. And if you truly believe somebody and truly, you know, take whatever somebody says as gospel, you know, you're risking your own system because it might be somebody that's not very well versed. So I personally think, you know, just be in charge of your own destiny. Don't leave things to other people. Don't say, oh, well, such and such a person said this, such and such a person said that, so it's their fault. Because it's your fault by not, you know, questioning them. you know what I mean? You would do it yourself with certain things. You know, certain things in life you would always question, but why, but what, but whatever. So why not with a fish tank? You know what I mean? And then, like Nick was saying, then all of these dodgy shots and stuff like that would then start to whittle away, because as soon as you ask the question and they can't answer it, or they answer it and you're like, what? Then you will start to sort of like, that's when you take the blue pill in the Matrix. And you start to go down the rabbit hole and you start to realise, hold on a minute, these people that are supposedly the experts, they're not telling me the right information. Now, I'm not saying this is everybody, you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's all local fish shops, but what I'm saying is, you know, local fish shops are there and they can come from anywhere at any time. And just because they've got doors and windows and bricks or wood doesn't make them an expert. You know what I'm saying? There's my little rant, sorry.
Yay. And none of this is advice, so do whatever the hell you want to do.
That's it.
The thing is,
make sure you take everything with a pinch.
The thing is, TMG, that the freedom, it's like I say to people when the people that come to me as newbies, and I take them through the process step by step, and I tell them, don't go onto Facebook, don't do this, don't do that, don't go onto the forums, just listen to me for the first 3 to 4 months, and then go onto Facebook, and I've had people do that, and they go onto Facebook showing the coral that they've just bought, and people are saying, oh, how long have you been reefing for? And they say 3 months, 4 months. And go, what? You shouldn't be buying coral. The tank isn't mature enough. This isn't right. That's not right. And these are hobbyists that have been doing it for years, and you're thinking, what the hell? You might have been doing it for time, but what have you actually learned within that time? And the emphasis really is on that, get your knowledge, just gain knowledge. It doesn't, a 10-year-old reefer is not necessarily a good reefer, It's like tank systems, install setups, You could have somebody who's been reefing for 10 years, has only ever done 2 setups, and he's kept that setup for 5 years each time. So he's only ever done 2 installs, 2 setups. So have they really honed how to do that, how to mature a tank, how to establish a biosystem within that system? So for me, it's like question everything. Even me, like I say to people, don't trust anyone, don't even trust me. Go and research, go and learn. Get the understanding behind you to know what you're doing. And then, like Michael said, challenge the stores. Challenge the stores to be better stores.
Yeah, that's it. At the end of the day, I'm muted, so.
Can't trust that big guy. You gotta do your own research.
Don't trust me. Do your own research.
Exactly, and the thing is, it's
I
very
can point
true,
you in the
though,
direction, but go and read. Go and learn.
A drug dealer comes over and says, oh, you want to try this stuff, it'll make you feel great. You're going to go, oh, hold on a minute. You know what I mean? So, obviously I'm not calling fish shops drug dealers, but what I'm saying is, you would, in certain aspects, you would question. But in other aspects, we just take things to gospel. We just say, well, this guy is one ruler, so I'll do what he says because he is who he is. He's got a fish shop. But, it's like everybody knows I'm still learning my craft. I'm still learning my hobby. If I opened up a fish shop tomorrow, I'm inexperienced. I've only got a certain amount of experience. But as soon as I open up that shop, I am now an expert. I'm now the go-to guy because I've got bricks and mortar, because I've got a shop. But is that right? No. You know what I mean? No. What it is, what it is. So it's one of those, just sort of like, as a hobbyist, realize that you're in charge of your own destiny, so to speak. And just obviously just take care. Take care with your tank, because it's your tank and your tank alone.
Can you imagine the freedom, though, of being able to go to Jason Fox or whoever, yeah, and seeing that coral that's £500 or $500 a frag, knowing that it's going to be perfectly safe in your tank, without the care, without the worry that you potentially could lose it. Yeah, all right, subject to a power cut or equipment failure, yes, unavoidable. But as far as in your system at that given time, that coral should thrive and survive exactly as it is in his tank. Because if you were able to see that coral in perfect health, then it shows that it can be kept that way because he's keeping it that way.
So here's a question. Here's a question for the people that are in the chat and also the people that are in this hangout right now. When you go to an LFS and purchase a coral, do you ask them what their parameters currently are of the tank, or do you just take it and just say thank you? It looks nice. I'll have that. Does anybody actually question the fish shop and say, you know, what's your nitrate? What's your alkalinity levels? You know, what are your certain parameters of your tank?
Actually, one of the stores where I buy from, they actually write it on the glass, whatever their parameters are when they test it every few days or week or whatever they do. I don't know how often they do it.
Oh, and they display the results, do they?
Yeah, like on their, they probably do just for the staff, but yeah, they put like just the date and whatever they tested their parameters.
To a certain respect, like in the UK, you have to do that for the pet shop license. You know,
yeah, but they just put it on a piece of paper, though, don't they? They don't display it for us.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I always recommend people to test the water when they get back anyway, because if your salinity is off, if your pH is off, that will dictate how long you need to acclimatize the fish for, if it's a fish for anyway, because too sudden a change can affect the fish. So you should always check at least for pH, salinity, and then potentially nitrates, etc. You should always test that when you bring a new fish home anyway.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I asked the question, because I know for a fact that many people just get it and don't ask that question. So and obviously there's many of us that are pop and droppers, where we just get it and just throw it right in. But where that coral, say for example, if it's a direct import, it's just come straight from Australia. You've seen an advertisement, new Aussie corals in stock now, come and get them, blah, blah, blah. They've been in the shop 10 minutes, or they've been in a day or whatever. That coral has just started to acclimate to their parameters, and it's just come out of the sea, which was probably different parameters, and now it's about to go to your tank, which is going to be different parameters again. So understanding what their levels are, for example, will give you a better understanding of how to properly acclimate that coral. Because, although most of us pop and drop, you should be acclimating. You know what I mean? You should be acclimating corals as well as fish, because, they need to get used to it. You can do things like, so that it builds up a bit of a slime coat. And then that slime coat then works as a bit of an acclimation barrier. So as that slime coat starts to break down, when it goes into the tank, starts to remove, it slowly starts to... What's the word? Slowly starts to...
Michael, you broke up.
I don't know whether we should tell him or not.
No, I stopped talking because I'm trying to speak, so it's like, that's it.
Oh, sorry, Paul. We can hear you. You're low as well, buddy.
I'm right in the back garden.
Right.
I'm going to turn myself up.
Hey, I got to jump off, guys, and get some panels edged up for this customer coming. So I'll jump off for a bit. Are you going to be staying on for a while, Paul, or no?
Yeah, if people carry on talking and that, and people are happy with it, yeah. But as soon as people talking and that.
Well, I'll jump off for maybe half an hour or so, and then I'll come back and see if you guys are still here.
All right, Mike.
All right. See you in a bit.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
But what Michael was saying about, how many people know what their LFS parameters are, I think it's crucial to build up a rapport with your LFS.
What does that mean?
Yeah, no, I was saying I think it's crucial, going back to what you said about how many people know what their LFS's parameters are. It's crucial to build up a rapport with them. And like I'm extremely lucky to have the LFS I have, like extremely lucky. I can literally go in and say, "Hey, Anthony, where's the Hannah tracker?" And he's like, "All right, cool. Just write it. Keep a lot."
You're breaking up, MG.
Or he'll test it, and they have an active log. And that's just because I built up such a relationship with this guy, you know what I mean, that he doesn't mind me doing it myself, you know?
My LFS, when I checked the nitrates was at 130, 1.03. You know what I mean? It was very high. Really at the top.
Yo, you sound horrible, mate.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Not better.
What is he saying? Huh?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, I said I went to my LFS once, tested the water, and I tested the salinity first. The 1.032 or something. Really, really high. Check the nitrates in it. The nitrates was unreadable on the thing because it was basically past 50. But everything was just horrendous in the salt in the LFS.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm knackered. Still tired. But yeah, always, like I said, saltwater, I don't like, when it comes to saltwater, just make sure none of it from the LFS goes into the system.
Do any of you guys have Evergrow LEDs or Reef Breeders is another name that looks like the identical light?
I have Reef Breeders.
You like them? Do they work well?
Tested my part 2 days ago at 80%, 150. My dizzy, so I had to turn them down.
Yeah. It's a round little hot, but
yeah,
like they look good. You like them?
They're good. Yeah, no, honestly, I can't complain.
Okay.
I like them a lot. They've been doing a job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I got mine for free, so.
Yeah, free's all right.
Yeah, they all I did was write a little email.
Oh, they wrote me an email the other day. I was like,
Oh, Logan sent you an email.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But
yeah,
well,
they're good.
Like, he was asking about my new tank, and I was like, well, I have lights if I just move my tank, but if set up as a separate tank, then I may need lights. Still debating what to do there, but yeah, I'm just taking a look at it now. They look the same. I think they're just like the rebranded Evergrow essentially, but I remember.
No, they are. He's a sole exclusive distributor in America for Evergrow. Even if you contact them, they will forward you to Logan. I've tried.
Oh, okay. So they are Evergrow. It's just his logo, right? Because they look identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Mhm. No, they are Evergrow.
Yeah. Okay.
What's called if he does get them to you though?
Yeah.
What I would suggest is ask him for.
Oh, you totally cut out TMG.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
All right. Ask him to send you the lumen bars as well. And the reason why is...
You keep cutting out when all the good stuff comes.
You get a really nice with the lumen bars. They're kind of like Reef, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a strip of blue LEDs, so you don't get... And with Seymour lent me his par meter. I found that I basically retweaked my whole lighting. I use those.
What did you call it? The aluminum bar or something?
Distribution in a straight line, and I turned down my Reef Breeders drastically because it takes away the hot stuff. The only thing I hate about it, honestly, is the interface. If the remote dies, you lose everything. You have to go back from the beginning and reprogram it. And you have to program it 1 hour at a time. So it's very annoying.
Yep.
So for every hour, you have to go in and put every single percentage. It's very annoying. Very, very annoying.
So the lights themselves are decent, but the controller's a pain.
The lights themselves are very good.
Okay.
They'll definitely put out the par. Like he has par charts on his website. Those are pretty much very accurate. Okay. That thing kicks out a shitload of lights.
Would you say something about ask for the something bar?
Lumen bars.
Lumen bars. Okay.
Mhm.
There's
Sorry.
Yeah, like I mean, if I just move my tank, I'm keeping the radions. If I do a second tank, it might be, or set it up as two systems, really migrate stuff, then that might be a cool way to check it out.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That's really cool that you. Oh.
You cut note. You're like really cool. Blah, 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 blah,
blah. No, did he give you the RN one?
The what? Sorry.
The RN one.
RN one.
The nano.
Well, oh no! Well, nothing's happened yet. He just emailed me the other day. I only responded last night.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
gotcha.
Yeah, so
he's rebranding that little wave maker you have. He's rebranding that one as well.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So.
But yeah, I don't know. Well, part of me is debating too. When I do my quote-unquote tank upgrade, if I should just set it up as a separate system, very slowly move stuff over, or I don't know. Depends if it's going in the same spot or not, I guess.
I actually owe him a video.
Yeah.
Thanks for reminding me. Yeah, I got to make a video. I told him I wasn't going to make one right off the bat. I wanted, there's no way I could make a lighting video, just like.
How you actually use the lights. Like you got to
at least, exactly.
Get a good feel for them. And I'll like film like an unboxing and open it and stuff. Then I'll just like throw that file to the side and then wait a few weeks and then film like a second half once I've actually used it for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I usually do that. That way you got your like unboxing part, then you can just use it to like cut it in and put with your actual experience.
Yeah. I might even lie about how many emails I received about people asking me about my life. I might drop that. I'm like, y'all been receiving hundreds of emails.
But like, so the color blending, like the look of the color looks nice, all that type of stuff.
Yeah. Look. I mean, I tweak it to record the videos, but if you just look at if you look at my icon right now while I'm talking, that's the Reef readers. I have a 24-inch one sitting above my tank. But if you want, you can look at my videos if you haven't ever before, just to kind of like get a look at how it does. The only thing is, make sure he promised me that the 24 was enough to cover my tank.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking the reason why I get hot spots is because the lenses, they're not wide lenses. So I have a really, really bad par drop off outside the perimeters of the lights. And so the lumen bars help a lot with that too. So I know he has 24, 36, I think a 42 and a 50 something. So just make sure it's like the exact size of your tank, just to avoid that par drop off, because you're kind of an SBS junkie like myself. So you want like that even thing everywhere in the tank. You know what I mean? Like even in the corners. Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to get a feel if you thought it was like a good lighter, you're happy with it and stuff before.
Yeah, no, I'm very happy with it. Very happy. I just wish they had an app on the phone versus that stupid remote. So like just periodically, like I leave my remote off, but periodically when I charge my phone, I'll just plug it in, just so it doesn't like lose the settings or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. They have a 60-inch long version.
Yeah. Yeah. And you saw the lumen bars on it?
I haven't found them on his site yet.
Oh, okay. He might have discontinued them. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, who knows? But
would you do one 60-inch light or two 36-inch lights?
I would do one 60-inch light just because. Wait, how long is the tank? How long is the tank?
Well, it's 6'1", but about 6 inches is overflow, so about 5.5, a little over 5.5 feet. But 60 inches is 5 feet.
So it's 60. So it's about 60 inches.
I'd say 66, 68, something like that.
And so 30. If you went with two 36s, that would make it way over. You can't even fit those on it.
Well, it would just be lighting the overflow, which would just be pointless.
Yeah. So I would go with just go with the 60.
Single 60, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You'll be fine with that.
Okay, cool.
Because I have a 6-inch gap on each side, you know?
Yeah, it's a good wind spill.
Yeah. So.
Okay. All right, I gotta decide which way I want to do it.
Yeah. Like, it's very, very similar to the Ocean Revive.
Oh, it's not.
When it comes to,
they're scamming on the size. But the dimensions are 47.5, so it's probably just the legs go that long.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Oh, it'll cover a 60-inch tank.
Yeah, that's
gotcha. Yeah, I hate that. I hate that lingo. Same thing here. The 24s cover a 36-inch tank.
Yeah. All right. So 2 36s. We'll see. I gotta decide on my tanks before I get into any of this yet.
Yeah. Yeah, he goes for Reefer Palooza as well.
Does he? Nice.
Yeah. But
Bum. The only bad thing is where the cord on the end, you can't necessarily butt them right up together unless I got fancy with the wiring somehow.
Yeah, you can't link them up together.
Morning, Frank.
I mean, the next lights I'm gonna get are the J-Bow Radion, so the Fadion.
Radions, eh?
Yeah, the Fadion.
I have to go look at those now.
Yeah.
Any good?
I haven't really seen much about them, so I'm not picky with lights, you know. I think all the lights we have now will pretty much grow anything.
They will.
Yeah.
Honestly, at the end of the day, I mean, they will grow. It just comes down to like color blending and how good the app and the control is, and
exactly.
Like, really
it's more creature comfort stuff.
Yeah, like any of the high power LEDs will grow coral, right? It's just does it give you more color pop, or does the light blend nicer, or is it hot spot?
Yeah.
It's pretty much.
But I also will retrofit with T5 on the next one, so you know. So yeah, it's just a matter of when will I do my next tank, you know?
Yep.
Because I'm honestly like, I want to redo my stand, and I'm honestly even second guessing that, spending money on a stand. It's just kind of, and then redoing the sump. I don't know what I want. Just because everything's working so well as is, it's kind of just like, why change anything, Gio? Like, you know?
Yeah.
Why do you want change?
Do you know the Focustronic lights?
Yeah.
Did you see their new version of it?
No. Ever since I found out the whole sunrise sunset thing, I hated it. Hated the concept.
The what thing?
That's the one that tilts, right? That does the whole sunrise sunset kind of thing.
You don't have to tilt, but yeah, you can tilt it at different hours and times.
Yeah.
The thing that drove me nuts is I didn't like the form factor. Like, to me, it just looked too bulky.
Yeah.
But their new one comes out, they actually put the heads inside of the fixture, which looks much better.
Oh, nice.
And they have two heads inside of it. They have two heads that rotate on two axes, and it's more of like a rectangle fixture, so it looks way better.
Gotcha.
And they have the LED strips on the outside, so I'm actually kind of curious about those a little bit.
Nice. Yeah. Yes, it's too gimmicky, so I never really looked into it. You know.
That one buddy seems to love him though. Like he's.
Yeah, I've seen his tank on your channel. Freaking awesome.
Mine are peeing me off at the moment.
Get you some proper lights.
What's that? No, it's just they need a firmware update, I think, but it's not an easy thing to do. And it's like, you know, obviously when I'm not a tech guy, you know what I mean? I'm not, well, I am to a point, but I'm not really like a computer guy, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not like somebody that wants to start messing about with code and shizzle like that. And I've literally got to physically take my lights down, plug them into my computer, update the firmware, and put them back. That for me is like, no.
Yeah, you should just ask for your money back.
Well, I didn't pay for them, so.
You did?
No, I didn't. But it's still, you know, obviously, as we're sort of like, you know, the beta testers of it, you know what I mean? We're the ones that are thinking it's like certain aspects of it, you know. Obviously, we got the first run, me and Dev, we got the first run, so obviously there's been tweaks and changes since obviously what we got, but you know, it's, you know, obviously stuff's been updated, so if somebody was to buy them now, you know, no issues, but because we got the first run of them, there's always going to be issues with the first run, and we just need to update the firmware. But you know, as somebody that I like plug and play, you know what I mean? I want to turn something on and that's it, you know what I mean? I don't want to do anything else. And if I've got a faff and mess, that's why I'm not really a big fan of like the Apex and stuff, because it's a faff. You know what I mean? I just want to turn it on. That's it. I don't want to tweak and mess and tune and blah, blah, blah. So, you know, stuff like that frustrates me.
Yeah. I feel you.
But the lights themselves, actually, the light emitted and stuff like that's wicked. Absolutely wicked. I love the lights. You know, once it's on, once it's set, brilliant. You know what I mean? Once it's set, the connectivity side of it, up until like the firmware update, was a bit ropey. And I'm still not happy with the fact that they don't have an Android app. Still not happy with that.
You get an iPhone.
I've got an iPhone. I've had to buy an iPhone just for the lights, which, you know me. But the thing is though, obviously, just as like thingy, like Android is as big as iOS, if not bigger. I don't know.
Bigger market.
What's that?
It's a bigger market on the Android.
Exactly. So, and they still don't have an app, and for me, that's a big frustration. Now, obviously, for me, if I was going to be a customer and I was going to buy them, I wouldn't buy them because there's no way on God's earth I'm going to buy a light that I can't control. Because obviously in this situation, obviously the light was given to me as a sort of like a YouTube thing. But if I was to have to get a different platform just to control them, I wouldn't have done it. So I never would have bought them. So that to me, obviously, that's a lot of people as well out there that wouldn't buy the lights just because it doesn't have an Android app.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a frustration. That for me, especially because like every time you ask, it's coming in October. October comes and goes, still no app. It's coming when Interzoo's here. Interzoo's been in God, still no app. And it's like, But yeah, other than that though, you know, the light itself, away from all the gimmicky, you know, lightning modes and controls and stuff like that. Once it's on, it's brilliant. Brilliant light.
Yeah.
Can't fault the light itself, but it's just the connectivity, the bit that a lot of us look for with LED lights, what we associate with LED lights, the connectivity, the apps and stuff like that. I think it falls short there. The new one looks good though, but again, by the looks of it, no Android app. Who's smashing about?
What happened?
I said, who's smashing about? Oh! Demonetized!
Sorry. Pop in the car.
You have to claim your revenue back off TMG now, pal.
Yeah, What, you mean that £1 million advert that came on a minute ago?
Yeah, that's the one. That's it. Send the boys round.
Frank the Tank, hello. Ed's back. Hello, Ed. Right, hang on. I'll have to put this list. Sorry about the hold up, Mage. But Mage said.
Mage said.
I'm trying to find it. Oh. Someone asked TMG what I said, please. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to find it. What she said. Is he talking about the Reef breeder lights? Is which version? Because my remote hasn't had power in a while, and all my settings have stayed.
What are we talking about?
Are you there, TMG?
Yeah. What did she say?
When you were talking about the lights before, she says, "What version have you got?" She says,
"I got V2."
Right, because she says her remote hasn't had power in a while, and all her settings have stayed. All her settings have stayed on.
Oh, I have a V2.
Right. I'm just trying to, because I've not been looking at the chat. I've been outside and I couldn't see the screen.
Oh, I'm nearly there, boys. I'm nearly there. I can actually see the floor. Woo! I can see.
Wait, where are you going?
I'm tidying up my room. But my room was such a mess, I couldn't even see the floor. But now I can. Well,
your wife should have beat you.
Please.
Yeah, just a quick shout out for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Test Tuesday. Don't forget Test Tuesday. It'll be around 8 o'clock UK time. Whatever time that is, Google it, because I don't know.
But, yeah, mate, let me know what version of the lights you got.
What lights are you talking about?
The Reef breeders, the Photon V2s.
Oh, never heard of those.
Yeah, because they're too good for the UK. No, I'm pretty sure you guys have somebody that can work on that.
Reef breeder V2.
I think, or they're called like Everbright.
Called what, sorry?
Everbright?
No. Everbright. Evergrow.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, we've got Evergrow. Is it like a...
Yeah.
Well, not so much anymore, but they used to look like Chinese flat boxes, didn't they?
Yeah, they used to, not anymore. Yeah.
Now they look a bit... Now they've got a very similar look to Orphex, haven't they? You know what I mean? They look quite like Orphex lights, you know, with the clusters.
Yeah. They kind of look like Orphex, yep.
Yeah, I know which one you're about.
That's a proper Muslim right there.
That's a proper what?
No, I said that's a buff Muslim.
A buff Muslim?
Yo, listen. I don't know. Like, she's fully cloaked and all, and still looks good.
How do you know she's Muslim?
No, I said she's fully cloaked and still looks good.
Oh.
Yeah.
How do you know?
Because she's wearing a bright cloak. It's like pink, so you can see more contour that way.
Oh, okay.
all the buff things are out today. Summertime, baby.
It's a warm day.
Yeah, mate.
Right.
Oh.
Where I'm going.
What?
Did mate say anything?
Nope.
Oh.
It's just gone. Chat's gone quiet.
What? Can't understand the words you're saying.
Because I need to read them.
You still can't hear a word that you're saying.
I need to reboot my computer.
It just sounds muffled. It just sounds like you got something in front of the microphone, or you're away from the microphone.
Yeah, I need to reboot.
That sounds bad.
All right, so reboot.
Yeah, but I'm going to shut it down anyway. Because...
You shut your stream down?
I'm at the 3 hour mark. It's like, I don't do 3 hour streams anymore.
All right, no worries, mate.
Anyway, everyone, thank you for joining. And I'll see you tomorrow on Test Tuesday with a rebooted computer.
All right, mate.
Oh, wait, you're leaving?
Yeah.
No.
TMG's thinking, no.
No.
Right, buddy. See you soon.
All right. Take care, mate.
Right, people, I'll catch you soon. And did Seymour jump in then by chance? It was, wasn't it? It was Seymour. Anyway, right, I'm going. Anyway, catch you all soon. See you later, TMG.
Cheers.
Everyone in the chat, cheers for joining. Ed, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciated. Tomorrow's Test Tuesday. Don't forget, Test Tuesday. It'll be 8 p.m. UK time. So what time's that? Minus the 5 hours and all that for East Coast and blah 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 for West Coast. yeah, I'm gonna shoot. Like I say, it's a really nice day outside, so I'm gonna go outside. Okay, I'll catch you all soon. See you later. Bye bye.